Hello. Thanks, excited cats. Yeah. I've never done this before. I thought we'd just sit around and just do nothing. Just a little bit of chat. How am I feeling? I'm feeling okay. It didn't feel good whenever I woke up. But it goes away over the course of the day. It's pretty weird. By the way, can you guys actually hear me okay? I was trying out different things. I'm actually playing 2 different video files at the same time. And I'm hoping that the music is combining well with the, the rain noises. Also have something special for you guys today. Although you're only going to see about half of it. What is a bit low? Just in general, the background music's a bit low. Oh, my voice is too low. Well, I'm also talking very lowly. This is called... Like, normally I speak like this, whenever I'm talking to an audience. But this is a bit more like my ordinary voice, when I'm being a bit more mumbly. I could probably boost it. Boost my mega gain. Oh, where's my gain? Here it is. Well, it's only up about 3. It's not that big a deal. I could turn up. Yeah, I could turn it up a little bit. Turn up the radio. Dun dun. Gotta give me some more. I don't remember how that goes. Yeah, let's move it up from 80 to like 85. I'm kind of afraid of moving up too much, or else I'll blow your eardrums out. Whoops. Hello, welcome. You guys want something special? Hold on. Ta-da! Not gonna give you much of it today, but you get a little bit of it. I wasn't really planning on doing any sort of giant debut or anything like that. But thought all the same. You might appreciate having something different from the cat in the hat. So how's everyone's day been? My day was mildly crappy. Only mildly crappy. Can't get the whole thing. I was gonna do a big debut thing. Well, not a big debut thing. A little bitty big debut thing. But I decided that I really didn't feel like trying to re-rig my old model. So I'm just gonna use this little guy for a bit. We'll see what happens. Like, as you may know, I was not doing well over the past week. I feel more or less okay now, though. I was cavorting around for today, though. I was originally going to go to the theater and see a movie with someone, but we ended up deciding to just stay at home and watch a movie there. Excuse me. Ooh. Because theaters are gross, and no one goes to those anymore. Because theaters are cringe, right? Isn't that what the children say now? Cringe. We had actually both seen it already, sort of. But we watched The Batman. Which I think every part of that movie is good, except for probably the very, very end. The very, very end is a little bit strange. I feel like they they felt the need to insert a big action scene at the very end when they didn't really need to. I was definitely burnt out from making all those LPs. I didn't really feel it at the time, but it builds up, and it kind of just washes over you all at one moment. But something that concerned me today was, like, talking to my friend. Like, the only thing we talked about was how everyone is depressed. It was kind of awful. Like, on the way up there, it's just like, isn't adult life terrible? Like, all of our friends, here's all the horrible things that have been happening to all of our friends. So-and-so lost their arm, so-and-so lost a kid. We ran into his dad, and the first thing out of his mouth was that he's had extreme anxiety lately. And something that I told him is that, especially over time, it's gotten way more important to me to make sure that people don't feel that if I have a choice in the matter. You can't really influence people to not have anxiety, of course, but if you can contribute just a little bit, you know, that's nice. Thank you, Hunter CD. Yeah. Can't stay big chill. It's okay. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, Yukumi Yumi. Did I say that right? Yakumo Yomi. Yomi. That's what I'm thinking of. Yomi is the Japanese word for reading the mind of the opponent. That's what I'm told. I don't know anything about Japanese. And every time that this came up about so-and-so being depressed or talking to someone that's depressed, it always came back to the same thing. Everyone is isolated. Even though we have the internet, everybody is feeling as though they are alone in some way. And sometimes even they're surrounded by people and they still feel like they don't have anybody, or they're like they are trapped or contained within something that they can't escape. And to me, that's very frustrating. I just really don't like the idea that there are so many people in the world and we're all going through the same thing unnecessarily. And I told my friend's dad, as we were leaving, you know, stay connected to people. You don't have to stay cooped up like this. And that's what I've been trying to do lately. The reason why I went out is because I've been feeling that same sort of thing. Where it feels like, no matter how hard I've been trying, I can't get out of the circumstances that I was born into. So I've made a point to myself to try to change that if I can. So I'm going out and I'm trying to evolve myself in the dirty, nasty world of the outside. Which is still awful. Like, it really is nasty. And I'm gonna go to cons. And maybe I'll take unnecessary trips for really no reason. Maybe I'll go visit people that I know online. Maybe I'll stalk someone and murder them if I like them. Maybe. If they're cool. Yeah, since I'm playing gentle Zelda music in the background, I'm anticipating that the VOD's gonna get muted, so you don't get too attached to my dulcet tones. Now I can do that one. I think they will be on board with it. It'll be cool. See, I'll stalk them for a period of... I'll stalk them for a period of several months. And I'll leave out little notes for them to find, and they'll find like little chocolates wrapped in a note. Maybe in their... Maybe in their dog's blood. No. And they'll be like, you look cute today. And they'll be like, oh. It'll be fun. You don't believe me? Yeah, you should always ask for consent before stalking someone. Before their inevitable vivisection. I don't know about the Prime thing, buddy. I never really understood a lot of this stuff. So yeah, I actually went up to the most major city in the area, and there was not a soul up there. It was so strange. Like back in the 1990s. Back in the 1990s, the mall in that city was just bustling all the time. There were always some sort of crazy events that were going on up there, and there were always just tons of people everywhere. You could barely walk. Everyone was always shopping up there. It was a place where everyone wanted to hang out. Like, all the big kids would hang out there at the mall. It was more of a 90s thing, of course. And every time that I've ever been up there in the past 10, 15 years, maybe, it's always been the case that there's just not a soul up there. And even for the city itself. You know, of course, it's what day is today? Like a Monday or something? That was a Friday. Oh my god. It's Friday? It's Friday now. It was Thursday. It was Thursday. So, it's a Thursday, so it's not like it's supposed to be the most bustling day or anything, but still, it's pretty rough. Went up there and, you know, there's like semis and stuff driving around. People doing stuff, I guess, but not really much else going on. I told my friend that it felt like we were driving through a post-apocalyptic version of the city that we used to know. Just because it was just desolate. But that's Kentucky. That's when I gotta get the hell out of here. I don't know where I'm gonna go, though. Yeah, malls everywhere are dying. You don't really hear too much about incredibly successful malls anymore. We went into a few stores, and I don't see how they stay in business. You know, none of them had any customers. There's nothing going on. All the shelves were fully stocked, and you could tell that no one was really buying anything. So what exactly is going on in malls these days, I have no idea. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know about going to a con for the sake of being a vendor or anything like that. It's so much work. I want to go to a con and just sort of hang around and just walk about and just see what it's all about, because I've never been to one before. I don't know what goes on there. I don't know what people do. Maybe I'll find someone to stalk and murder. Who knows? Kentucky has a way of trapping you here. Yeah. Because the thing about Kentucky is, once you're born here, you're kind of born into poverty in a lot of cases, and the opportunities are not very good. There's not many things for you to do, so... and since one of the things about being born poor is that a lot of things can only be accomplished if you have the capital to do it. If you have the money to be able to finance yourself to accomplish things, then yeah, you can pull it off. But in a lot of cases, every avenue that you can take to try to make yourself more money to gain more capital is just going to result in, you know, minimum wage, or realistically in Kentucky it's more like part-time. And they won't give you any benefits. You don't get to even work full-time, but they still expect you to be as dedicated as you would be if you were full-time. So you end up with absolutely no prospects of actually improving your life. So I definitely get it. That's kind of been a lot of my life. It's just starting with absolutely nothing, suffering through like my early 20s, and then trying to fix my life by my late 20s and 30s. And then it almost feels like my life really isn't starting until right now. Like I haven't been able to really do anything until now. And of course I couldn't do anything recently because COVID happened. So even though I wanted to like do stuff over the past a couple years, 3 years, hasn't been able to be a thing. So yeah, just kind of been shackled in various ways. That's how it goes. Still have some time though. Still have time. The important thing is to have control. I found that that's what a lot of people have trouble with, is just the fact that they don't feel like they have a chance to improve. Like, it's one thing if things are bad, but sometimes stuff can be bad, but you have the ability to improve your circumstances at least, so that gives you a hope for the future. It's only whenever it feels like there is absolutely nothing that you can do for yourself that's when it really kicks in. But thankfully, I feel like for most people, most circumstances, you can change. And you can change the things around you. I'm drinking I've never had this. It's I should move my little... I'm actually using new technology. I'm using an iPod 11, I think it is. Put it there. There we go. Ah. It kind of doesn't want to... It isn't tracking as well as it did the other day. I wonder why. This is something I'll have to work out before I actually do my big thing. When I say big thing, I'll probably just do the exact same thing that I'm doing now. Yeah, Kentucky ranks among the lowest in a lot of stuff. We are stinky. Or a crummy state. One of the reasons why I want to get out. I'm not really sure where to go, though. Because the thing with moving is, well, one, I can't do something like move to, I don't know, New York or Chicago or Austin or some crazy thing like that. Because I don't, there's no way I would be able to afford the houses and stuff there. It's way too crazy. The only way for me to be able to do that. That's the reason why I've been so infuriated with the internet. Like right now, I've actually not dropped any frames so far, which is amazing to me. But for the past 3 or something weeks, I've been... it doesn't matter if I wanted to stream or not, there's no way I could, because I've been dropping 90% of my frames. So as a result, there's just no way. But the fact that I'm not able to be consistent means I can't really build a base of people that want to consistently watch me. And if I can't do that, then I can't, like, raise retention and all this other gobbledygook when it comes to streaming. And if that's the case, then I can't make a better income, which means that I can't have that financing. So the moment that I have been sort of just waiting around hoping that broadband would get here, and I thought it would get here like years ago, but it's just been so bad. Like there's something called House Bill 315 in Kentucky right now that's supposed to be the thing that's driving the broadband rollout for most of this area. And I wrote to our governor, Bashir. I wrote to his office and was basically just a nice formal letter, you know, detailing sort of my life circumstances and the life circumstances of other people, and how reflective it is of the quality of the state that we should be able to have access to things that will help us improve, especially with the newer generation of people, because people don't live without internet anymore. And I sent that letter, and then I got an email later on, about 2 weeks later, from the office saying that this is not their business. We are forwarding it to this other office, and then that office had an amended bit of information at the bottom that said, this does not actually concern us either. Please forward this to people, or please in the future write to some other office. So it was forwarded twice between two offices, and both of them said we didn't read it. So that's the state of things. That's what's been going on as far as the broadband is concerned. It's just been like that. Not to be a downer or anything. It'll eventually get here. Of course, I thank all you guys that have just been around for so long. Yeah. I wasn't going to show off the whole model. I can show off a little bit of the face. But eventually. I can't wink, though. Still, well, no. Almost. Not quite. How eventually? I don't know. I was actually wanting to wait until I actually got real broadband. And originally that was supposed to be last year, around November. That ended up not being the case. It got pushed back again. And then earlier this year it also got pushed back. And the original idea was that it was going to be deployed sometime in July, but then the House started pushing for it to be deployed earlier than that, and that's whenever the governor vetoed it. Because it would do something that would maybe obstruct other deployments in the area or something. Like, I have no idea why he vetoed it, honestly. So, it might be as early as spring, or it might just be very late summer, or it might be autumn, or it could be that, it could just be that it doesn't get here at all until, like, a year or 2 years from now. I really don't know. Because even if they do start deploying broadband to various places, it's possible that the electric company that gives us electricity, and that I pay for, will not actually be able to deploy here, because they didn't get the financing. Or it's possible that they will, but it will just take too long to be able to get it to here specifically. Of course, there's always Starlink, but the problem with Starlink is that they have little satellites that orbit the planet and collide with one another and explode. And they will eventually all fall from the sky. Eventually, they're in low orbit. But those, the way that works is it has to, like, switch. It has to switch satellites as it orbits around you. So you point your little satellite up into the sky, and it'll pass over where your satellite is. It's like shining two flashlights at one another, except one of the flashlights is being held by the moon, or, you know, whatever. And those little flashlights intersect with one another, and whenever they intersect, they make sweet love and give you YouTube and allow you to stream your OnlyFans. And whenever that flashlight, controlled by the moon, orbits back around, then you're like, well, I need another moon. And that's when the second moon appears with its flashlight. But whenever that happens, it has to switch between the two flashlights. And whenever that happens, internet goes down. And that will happen sometimes for like 5 minutes. Or it will be seamless, it kind of just depends. And apparently the service has been getting worse and worse for whatever the reasons, so... whenever they finally offered me Starlink in this area, I just said no, don't bother. I really don't have any faith in your service anymore. So technically, I could have gotten it. I would probably be using it right now, but I don't think it would be any better than what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, I don't mind this cherry Coke. It's not too bad. It's not amazing, though. It would actually probably be worse than what I'm using now. Yeah. Welcome, Borchmore. Yeah. So you have to be careful about it. There's some sort of movie up right now about Nicolas Cage playing himself, but he's insane. He's done something. He's lost his mind. I have no idea. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Whatever it was, I had it explained to me, and it's a very strange premise. Hey, VT. I actually was watching your stream silently the other day. I decided not to say anything, though. I just watched for a little bit. No, not Pig. This is something that came out very recently. I did see Pig, though. Ooh, are you getting a new job, 2-star? Congratulations. Ooh, you were drawing Sonic, Super Sonic. Yeah, a lot of his more recent movies have been kind of unusual in that way. I did like Pig. It's a good movie. It's kind of predictable in a way. Like, the very moment that I heard that the movie was about him having his pig abducted, like, the moment that I heard that, I knew exactly what it was going to be about. There's no way it wasn't going to be something... there's no way that it wasn't going to be exactly the thing that it ended up being. Mandy? I don't think I've seen Mandy. What is Mandy about? I tell you what, you guys. There's a lot of things that I just don't know about. There's so many things in the world that I've just never been exposed to. That's one of the reasons why I want to get out. Watching other VTuber streams, they spend a lot of time just watching videos that I've never seen before, or listening to music or singing songs I've never heard before. This all of it's just so new to me. Just because once you fall out of active friend circles, then, you know, as you get older, then you just kind of lose that stuff. Because that's how people work. We experience one thing and then share it with the people that we know. And whenever that stops happening, then you kind of just stop. Mandy is about a big chainsaw. Well, that's good. Good for Mandy. Is Mandy the name of the chainsaw? Is Mandy the name of the guy with the chainsaw? Or is Mandy the name of the meat? Oh. So it's more like... it's more like Evil Dead. Except drugs. Maybe? Yeah, my YouTube recommended is a lot of, like, science videos, cute animals, and, like, I'll get on Kick, like, recently I've been watching a bunch of, SCP Animated, which is not as good as just reading the SCP articles, but at least you don't have to, like, sit down and read it. So I've been going through a lot of those, so whenever you do something like that on playlist, it just inundates your entire YouTube feed with nothing but that one thing. I think that, what is his name? What is the Evil Dead, the guy, Ash Williams, I think Ash Williams is actually going to be in the new, Multiverse of Madness movie, I think. Because it's being directed by that dude, whatever his name is. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is the name of the actor. I hope that his car, whatever this car is called, I hope that thing shows up again. Really what I hope happens is, the Oldsmobile? Is that what it is? I can't remember what the actual model is. I hope it shows up. Like, it's just a wreck. Like, it's way worse than you've ever seen it. And it better not be an April Fool's prank. That'd be so irritating. But I hope it shows up and he gets out, and Ash Williams has absolutely no idea what's going on. Like, he's very confused. He's just very old and just tired and he doesn't care anymore. And some people off screen throw some rubber skeletons at him and he just fights a few of them, declares victory, and everyone celebrates that he was there, and then he kisses a supermodel, and then he wanders off screen. He doesn't, like, leave the scene. There's no story beat that gets rid of him. He kind of just wanders off, and ever so often you see him in the background. That's what I want. I'm concerned about this phone. think it's misbehaving. There we go. Actually, I think part of it might be that I don't actually have iTunes open, because that's apparently a weird thing that happens. So maybe if I have that open, the tracking will suddenly get very much better, maybe? Kind of strange. Download volume. Yeah, sure, you do that. Yeah, the rules on this iTunes stuff is so weird. I'll give you a little kitty face. Nah. I don't think my... No, my mouth tracking is kind of okay. Just a little bit alright. Yeah. Back down you go. I think we used to have an Oldsmobile whenever I was a kid. I think that's what I learned to drive in. It is. It was this old brown Oldsmobile. It wasn't made of wood though. It could have been, if it had tried hard enough. Whenever I was learning to drive, I did that thing where I tried to apply well, I take that back. All the driving I had done up to that point, this is so strange, but I had driven things before, but they were like tractors, which are not cars, and that was part of the problem. Because a tractor or a combine or something like that has a throttle, and you ease it up and then you're fine. Whereas a car, or a truck for that matter, I was very young whenever this happened, has of course a pedal, and you have to control it with your foot. So the first thing I did, of course, was try to barely apply a little bit of pressure to the gas, and it was too much. And whenever that happened, it, of course, made the car go very fast, very quickly, which made me jerk forward. And whenever I jerked forward, it caused me to slam my foot on the gas, which caused me to, whip backwards. And I did that thing where it jerked forward and went back, jerked forward and went back. And my mother at the time was not very happy about it. And I was like, Mother, I'm 3, what do you expect? How dare you? The thing I don't miss driving, I don't know what the actual term is. We called it a ton truck. But it's a big flatbed truck that's made for pulling very heavy objects. We use it to carry around a water tanker, or used. There's no farming anymore. And that thing, whenever you shifted its gears, it grinded like a motherfucker. I was not actually 3, no. I was just kidding. Like, anytime that you tried to shift between, like 1 to 2 was more or less okay. Not that you're gonna sit in 2, or sit in 1. But the moment that you tried to get to, like, 2 to 3, oh my god. It made this horrible sound, like... Like, it was just exploding. It was really like you were shifting a series of gears that were inside of the truck. They were all just grinding against each other in the worst way possible. It felt like you were going to tear the whole truck apart anytime that you had to move between 3 and 4. And there's sometimes when you just couldn't. Like, there's something about it going uphill where you would have to just, like, let go, ease up, take off the gas, just let it do what it was going to do, and then that might give it whatever it needs to be able to get to to help it complete its mission and behave itself. That poor wretched device. Just awful. I never did much of the driving of the Combine, though. Thank goodness for that. Thing's a mess. Trying to drive that thing with a header attached is a nightmare. Especially if something goes wrong. Lost a cat in that flatbed once. In the back of a Combine, there's a thing that... I'll try to explain this in very stupid terms. whenever combine pulls in grain into the front part, which is called a header, it goes through a series of tubes. It goes through a series of tubes, and the stuff inside of the combine grinds all the things together that you're taking in, because you're taking in not only useful grain, which you do want, but you're also taking in stuff like plants and a lot of bugs, grasshoppers, mice, and sometimes random pipes that are just in the field for some reason. Beer cans especially. Pretty much just whatever. Because rednecks will just throw whatever they want out there. And they don't care. And so as a result, whenever after it goes through this process, it's like breaking all the material down, and it leaves the precious, delicious, delectable seeds. Those will fall down into the very back. Or, sorry, those will disperse into the bin up top, and the remainder, the chaff, will go out the back. And there's this little bitty shaky thing in the back. It goes, it shakes, and it's like if you what's a good thing to? It's like sifting flour or something. It's like it's like frying something and then picking up the pan and shaking it. You know, like you're frying a pancake or something, and you're trying to make sure that it doesn't stick. So you like pick it up a little bit and you whip it around some. It's like that. And the grain sort of shifts around on this thing, and it goes through several layers of metal sheets that filter out and shift all the stuff around so that it can be expelled out the back. And in that part, there is little bitty areas that allow material like dirt and so forth and so on to fall down so that it can be forcefully expelled with augers out other parts of the combine. Because, you know, if you're taking in a bunch of plants and dirt and stuff, you need someplace to put it, right? So the only way to do that is with a million different moving parts, which is why combines are so damn big. But anyways, a cat decided to have her kittens up there. This is a terrible story, by the way. And because it was isolated. And one of them fell down inside of it. And we spent like an entire day trying to take every piece of that combine apart to be able to get to it, and we just never could. So that kitten was it just stayed down there. And maybe we could have taken it apart, but by the time that we would have been able to, it would have been too late anyways. So it's one of those horrible farm stories, as usual. Anytime you encounter someone that lived on a farm and they want to tell you a story, just say no. There's no way. It's never gonna be good. Tried to do it. I can sort of wink. There was another time when I was waiting on my dad to finish out a plot of land. It was a small acreage field. And what was it? I think it was corn that season. I think it... No, it was soybeans. It's soybeans that we're taking out. Because I think it was August. Or wait, no, what am I thinking? It doesn't matter. But one of the things that you have to be mindful of whenever you are doing this is that sometimes deer will leave their fawns just lying around. And fawns have the instinct to not move. And you might guess where this is going. It's not as bad as you think, but the header caught the front end of this fawn and sawed open its stomach. So my dad decided, we'll take it to the vet. We'll see what is gonna happen with this thing. But I'm going to finish this ground first, because it was getting near dark anyways. So I was like, oh, you don't want to take it now? There's no way it's going to survive. And he's like, yeah, well, if it does, it does. So I ended up for the next about hour holding down this fawn that had its insides cut out trying to keep it from wiggling around, and ever so often it would, and like bleat and try to run away. And just tried to make sure that it stayed still long enough that we could get it to help. And needless to say, it did not survive. Another farming story, courtesy of me. Did you enjoy it? It's wonderful, isn't it? What a relaxing stream this is. I like other people's animal stories better. When they're like, we had a cute cat, and sometimes his paw would do like this. And that's it. And he lived 30 years. And then on his 30th birthday, he turned into a force ghost and floated to heaven. What a pretty kitty he was. Ooh, good kitty. I like those stories. Those are better. And then he returned sometimes and gave sage advice. He told me to confront my father. And my father threw my grandfather down a mine shaft, which resulted in a force explosion that turned the moon of Endor into a dark force nexus. Those are great cat stories. I like those. Wish I had a cat like that. Yeah, I like hearing people's silly cat stories. Yes, I have also seen a vid where a donkey gets hit by a train thanks to somebody recently. I think I've seen that already, but it's definitely come up once or twice. Because it's so funny. Wait, why am I laughing at that? I do remember also there's this... It's a video of the aftermath, I think. Why am I mentioning this? But it's a cow whose, like, head, it was leaning its head over railroad tracks. And you can kind of imagine what... You know what, I'm gonna stop talking about it. There's no reason why you guys need to listen to this. Every animal has always been special and had good memories and a great life. Animals have the best time on Earth and nothing bad ever happens to them. I would watch an anime in which an animal gets isekai'd in that manner. Like Yusuke jumps in front of the truck to save the child who's chasing a ball. Except instead of Yusuke, it is like a horse. And then the horse shows up in like an otherworldly kingdom where there are 50 ovulating princesses that are just waiting for him. Like, horse, Sir Horse, you must ensure the propagation of all of our kingdoms. And it's like... and like stomps its hooves and leaves some little apples on the ground. And like everyone's on board with it. What? No, wait, this is good. And everyone's on board with it, except for one person. It's like a chicken boo thing, right? There's like one guy who's like, this is a horse. This is very clearly a horse. And no one pays any attention to him. Like he's just shouting to the wind. And even the princesses are like, oh, Victor. The horse's name is Victor. Oh, Victor. It looks like 40 sausages taped together. I've never been so excited. 40s. I couldn't think of something that was that exact shape. What would form that silhouette? Like a horse rears back on a mountainside at sunset, and you see its black silhouette. So, and there's this big waving pool noodle. It's like two pool noodles. Someone holding two pool noodles that are glued together. Why am I talking like this? the victor ends up siring like 50 babies. And like most of them are normal somehow. Most of them are just like little boys and girls. And then ever so often there's a horse, but no one acknowledges that it's a horse. It is like the lady is giving birth and she's like and they're like push push, and the woman's like, oh my god, and it just like tumbled out. It tumbles out, right? And it's just a mess of legs, because that's how like horses and like zebra and stuff are born. And it's just like, they're like, at first they don't know what it is. Like you can see like for a split second whatever enchantment is holding them to not being aware that this thing is a horse. Like for a split second, all of them in the room are like, hold on, I think I have. Okay. And, but then, like, whatever it is, like, whatever horrible magic seizes upon them once more. And they're like, oh, it's a boy. And the horse, like, stumbles up because it's a horse, and then it begins to run after, like, several minutes. And it's a miracle. He's a prodigy. And it, like, runs outside and eats grass. It would just be a beautiful story. And that's how the isekai would go. I'm very excited about it. I'll plan to write it this coming summer. In the world, do horses exist? Yeah, of course they do. Kind of silly question. I mean, they're like knights and stuff. Why would there not be horses? So in a follow-up to that thought pattern, of course, several stallions just end up randomly having normal human offspring ever so often, and people don't really know what's going. They just find them, like they can't put two and two together. They just start foaling random people, and oh, stray orphan, a free child. Don't mind if I do. And they pick up the baby, and then they raise it to be its own. But whenever the child grows up, it doesn't have like a human mind. It has a horse brain. So you look outside ever so often, and there is an ill-kept child, barely dressed in the garb of a person, this trying to run on all fours outside, just making noises. It's trying to eat grass, and it's like running alongside other horse babies that are people, like butting them and trying to rut because they're going through adolescence. They're like, Jimmy, don't mount your brother. And he's like, and they have to wear diapers into their 50s because they're horses. They're horse people. This is a good plan. I like this anime. This is coming along well. This is how you form ideas. Like, have you ever wondered, how do I write something? How do I make my next big project? The thing you have to do is you just have to get really fucked up. Like, take a bunch of THC. I'm not actually. No, Twitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Twitch. I'm kidding. But, as in my joke, just take a bunch of THC and just start writing stupid, fucked up shit. And then later on, whenever you go through and you read it, then you can like start erasing. And for the most part, it's still fucked up. But there's some things that will be okay. And that's the stuff you keep. And then later on, you can include the other stuff as DLC, or the next series. Anime doesn't have DLC, not yet, but it can. Yeah, for the most part, I'm okay. I felt really weird. Can you believe it? I felt really weird today. Yeah, if one of the humans breaks their leg, yeah, they have to put the thing down. It's very sad. The other flip side of that is... The other flip side of this is that in addition to humans that have horse brain that they don't quite know what to do with, there also are people born that have human brains that are just people, but everyone sees them and treats them as though they are horses. which is way more fucked up. Because this is more... I shouldn't say this. They have to turn them into slaves. Because they treat them as horses. They're like trying to bridle them and whip them and gild them. No, okay, I'm going too far with this. So yeah, whenever Timothy and Sebastian are out there trying to apply to be realtors, the realtors are like, "Ooh, let this horse into my office," and they try to put a saddle on his back and ride him around. And Sebastian is like, "Dude, shit, deal with this my whole life. Oh my god." But the plus side is that Sebastian ends up getting, like, he was always going to be a little bit weird, you know? And he was into that sort of thing. So he ends up taking, like, a horsewife. And he's kind of cool with that part. And no one is ever the wiser. This is kind of a fucked up anime. Sure about this now. Yeah, I like writing. Writing's fun. I've always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed writing. You know, I've told you guys before that I used to be a novelist. Like, I did the whole Writer's Guide to the Market stuff, right? I never went through the entire process of getting it published, finalizing it. But that was the thing I used to do. Before I did that, before I was, like, trying to write serious literature, I wrote stupid, fucked up stories that make no sense. I wonder if I still have any of those. Probably not. I wonder. Probably not. I sincerely doubt it. If it was anywhere, it would be... I love this song. No, not Huge Quest. Huge Quest was nowhere near as old as this. I'm talking about, like, high school and stuff. Oh, that's what that is. Pre-2000? Oh. Oh, I do have some old stuff that I did. Oh, here's the original document for the life and death of John Fucklaw. Remember that? Yeah, here it is. Look at that. What the hell? Oh, I forgot I did this! I forgot all about this. This is a text file called wisdom.txt. Wow, these aren't funny at all. These are things that I wrote down whenever I was, like, in my early 20s. And I thought were, like, cute and, like, pithy thoughts that I had that would be cute. I wonder if that Kool-Aid guy gets dead possums in his head while he's asleep. I made that into a comic. I forgot. On my DeviantArt, you could probably still find it, I think. That's just a Kool-Aid guy walking around and he has a bunch of corpses and stuff inside of him. If evil besets humanity from unseen places, then surely we must be leery of the seemingly trustworthy clouds. What? What the hell's wrong with me? Surprisingly, in our democratic society, tickets from the police do not need to be ratified by a 3/4 majority vote. What the fuck? What in the world was wrong with me? There's nothing funny about this. If you are a TV evangelist that performs faith healings by slapping the afflicted, you may want to consider wearing oven mitts for the benefit of the renewed. Well, that's a nice thought. That is a pleasant thought. I'll give my past self that. That was pretty good. Born-again virgins are far less dangerous than the elusive were-virgin. I'm not quite sure what that means, but that definitely does seem like something that young me would have written. I was way stupider when I was younger. That's kind of the weird thing about getting even a moderate amount of success. You sort of have to reel things in. You have to get less stupid. You have to sort of moderate yourself. So as a result, like a lot of the stuff that I did whenever I was younger is very hit or miss. And a lot of it is very inane and ridiculous. Whereas these days I feel like I've gotten so controlled that I've lost a lot of it. It is often unwise to fly a kite from the backseat of a vehicle, especially if done in areas containing high-voltage power lines, windmills, and/or other kites. I guess so, 20-year-old me. When was the last time this was modified? That's so stupid. It was created in 2011. Oh, I've got bad news. I was 28 when I was... I was 28. Oh no. When hunting, an alternate method of safety awareness may be utilized by wrapping orange tape around everything but yourself, thus allowing you the impunity against other hunters while retaining the ability to seamlessly merge into the woodland background. Yeah, alright. Alright, 28-year-old me. That's a surefire hit. You should make that into a tweet. God, I'm so glad I didn't have Twitter whenever I was 28. This is 28. This is 2011! Most of the people that I'm like, oh, they're cool and funny, I like them. Most of the people, they were, in 2011, they were like 3. I was 49 years old in 2008. It keeps getting worse. Rest in peace, me. I died 3 years ago. Probably didn't know that. Magic beans, while tempting, rarely offer productive yields the following year, especially compared to the benefits of retaining bovine ownership. That is so fucking stupid! Why did you I had to type this and then hit Control S. And even that is too much effort. That is so fucking stupid. There's nothing funny about it. Animals, while free of the abjects of sin, I still suspect to enjoy flaunting their nudity around humans. Okay, I like that one. I don't know why. That seems like something I would say now. Take a big gander, big boys. We're getting away with it. You thought we were just dumb? Hell no. If the sounds of nature are God's music, then surely crop circles are God's finger paintings. That's not funny. It's so stupid. Crop circle? Why? They're man-made. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's just me, but the sun is both hot and bright. It is so bright, in fact, that even looking at it causes pain, and I have multiple exclamation marks after this. The sun is what? The sun is not a very good friend for this reason. Think about it. Your hot friends don't shine flashlights in... What? Your hot friends don't shine flashlights in your face, do they? And your friends that do shine lights... What? And your friends that do shine lights in your face do you a service by being ugly. What? Doing you a service by being ugly is okay. Yeah, I kind of still think like this, but I usually keep it to myself these days. I still say things like this, but they're usually just in passing. The idea of keeping them to text and then trying to tweet them is a bit cringy. But that was it. That was it. That's all that. Something called Time Forgets the Insignificant. This looks like a short story that I was writing. Yeah, this is back whenever I was trying to do short stories. There are some things that are similar to crop circles that are formed naturally, but I can't remember what they're called exactly, or what causes it. Huh. Oh. Oh my god, I forgot! I forgot that I did a webcomic, like a... What is this? I think this was a Star Siege webcomic. Yeah, it is. It's really poorly drawn, too. You guys are not going to get to see that. It's really stupid. There's nothing funny about it, even. Dreams. Oh! This is it! Do the HTML still work? Oh, they do! Oh, they're formatted! Oh! This is back whenever... I wonder if it's still up. There's a site called The Junkyard that was a Star Siege related thing. And I used to have a website there. Like, they actually allowed me to host my stuff, which is nice of them. And one of the things I used to do was I would host some of my fiction that I wrote there, which is extremely cringy. And so apparently what I did is I uploaded the novel that I was writing with my best friend. And it goes up to chapter 37. Huh. Of course, this is one of my serious writing attempts, so it's not worth reading. It's not funny. Then I think after that... Yeah, after that we tried writing a more coherent version of it, which I also have, apparently. Which apparently went to... 15... It apparently went to like 16 chapters before we put a stop to that. I also have a short story entitled Bestiality, which is actually it's actually a Star Siege fanfiction. I must have written this a long time ago. I guess it's like you know how in John Carpenter's The Thing, in the soundtrack to that, there actually is there is a track called a Bestiality. And the idea is like inhabiting the body of a beast. It's not literally bestiality. That's what I was going for. Because I was just so... I was so fucking raw. I was so edgy. There's the Godforge project. Really? Oh yeah, this is my naming convention thing. Yeah, I haven't investigated my writing folder in a long time. There's nothing of value here, though. Thank God for that. What was the one thing that I thought was funny? Animals, while free of the abjects of sin, I still suspect enjoy flaunting their nudity around humans. I'll keep that one in the tank for later. Oh, that's my VA listing. Okay, enough of that. Alright. Okay. So, yes, to conclude, my isekai anime about horses would be fun. Especially the part where people are... That's like an SCP. Like, really, that's what that is. Like, that whole idea of a horse... a horse performing a human action that results in its death by hands of a moving van. Being isekai'd away into a fantasy realm in which it propagates its own spirit in the bodies of humans that live there, in the form of people horses and horse people. That's an SCP, that's what that is. I've always enjoyed SCPs, though. Just the idea of it. Because like, there's a... what is it called? Backrooms? Yeah, the other thing that's sort of like that. Because there's the SCP stuff, which is usually some weird... Like, the thing I like most about SCPs is that there's usually some incredibly strange mechanic to something. And figuring out what it is and how it works is the interesting part. And sometimes it's kind of creepy as well. My least favorite SCPs are just the ones where it's like, this is super Beelzebub. He can only be killed with Ultra Beelzebub, who will appear at the end of time and just... Hold on, I didn't care about that. But the ones that are like, this is a teddy bear made of ears. It was made by this other teddy bear that people loved, but it turned out to be fucked up and they didn't realize it. Or a vending machine that gives you whatever it is that you ask for, but sometimes it can have unforeseen consequences, but for the most part it's absolutely safe. Or, you know, like a book that writes out whatever your deepest fantasies happen to be. Or a box that contains a fantasy world of dragons, and they're very happy to meet humans. Like, this things like that. I really like stuff like that. So much fun. But the backrooms, my impression of the backrooms, I really don't know that much about the backrooms, but my impression of that is that it's more like a video game. In the sense of, here's level 1, or here's level 13-2B. In order to advance to level 27 from this area, you need to have the following items, and it's just that. And there's like, here's the hatted man in red, and he walks around the back rooms, and when he meets you, he asks you a question of, does your dick swing to the left or right? And if you say left, he kills you, but if you say right, then he'll allow you to live, but only if your dick actually does swing left. So be sure to remember that whenever you go into the back rooms. This back rooms is stupid. It's just a bunch of nonsense rules about video game progression between levels. I didn't find any value in it myself. There's like a YouTube channel that's doing an like CG or something version of the background, or the backrooms, and that has way more value to me. It looks pretty cool. Because it actually treats it as being something that's unknown and mysterious. Like, it actually is presented as being horror instead of this ridiculous meta-narrative that they're obsessed with telling. Have I ever listened to the Magnus Archives? No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I like SCP IKEA. That one's fun. Yeah, the original, I really like the original SCP. This is straight and to the point. You didn't have to have these gigantic mega beasts and gigantic articles that span 10,000 words. How long would a horse survive in the backgrounds? It depends on how big the horse's penis is, to be quite honest. It's got to be at least like 10 horse noodles. Pool noodle, horse noodles. Like 10 of those wound together, he's good to go. He can probably get through a bunch of layers of the back rooms. You probably just like turn and just knock down walls. I like the idea of the back rooms. It just didn't really go anywhere. I'm usually the only person that laughs at my own jokes. One of my favorite things to do in other streamers, whenever they're doing stuff, is to try to make them laugh. But it's kind of difficult because often I feel like I'm just being annoying. Because That's the reason why I actually... It depends on the individual person, I'll just say it that way. There are some people that I feel like are really on board with dumb humor, and then there's other people that are like, I better just keep my thoughts to myself. Because, if you can't tell, a lot of my humor is just being really fucked up and stupid. And that never quite went away. But I also am never around people that are like that, so I've kind of gotten into the habit of not letting it slip. So it's really kind of difficult for me to keep it reined in sometimes. And I get overly excited whenever I have the opportunity to be crazy. I probably take that too far. So I need to learn to behave myself as well. Has the background changed? I haven't really been paying attention. It seems like it did. Maybe it's just repeating forever. Never paying attention. Yeah, who needs very clever, structured humor that is about the human condition when you could just talk about a guy farting so hard that it rips his butthole a little bit, so there's always like a little flap of skin that flaps wildly whenever he toots. And you're like, stupid. You clap your little walrus flippers together and like, haha. Yay. Sorry. Come on, iPhone, you can do it. I keep looking away and it loses my tracking. Another part of the reason why my tracking is being kind of weird. I'm not really close enough to the screen. Like, this phone should actually be really, really close to my face. But because of my setup, I have to have it in a weird, kind of screwed up position. This will bring my little guy up a little bit. Aha. You can tell I have my little suspenders and overalls down there. Can't look down too much or it loses the tracking down there too. Maybe I should like move this over here. That way I'll be less inclined to... Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. I'll be less inclined to look over in the wrong direction and cause it to lose tracking entirely. Yeah, it actually works by... Because iPhones have something called, I think, ArtKit? I can't quite remember. But whatever the technology is that Apple uses is, unfortunately much superior to anything else that's being used right now. Like, even Android is way, way far behind. So as a result, if you want to have, like, really good tracking technology, then that's what you're going to have to use. Yeah, for, like, VTubing stuff. You can also use it as just like an ordinary webcam, of course, which I briefly considered doing, but decided against. Right down you go. There we are. Right there. Be there, little kitty cat. I had the drawing myself, of course. I was originally going to try to get Yochi to do it. Yoklish, sorry. She's an artist on Twitch that I follow and also harass from time to time. She's married to Kim, and Kim is the person that actually did the rigging on this model. I didn't do the rigging myself because I did not want to have to buy a Cubism license in order to actually, you know, get it done once and then maybe never use it again. I didn't really see any point to it, plus it would have to involve me actually spending all the time to do it, so... Kim, I keep calling him Kim. His actual name on like Twitter is Rotus Lotus. I haven't updated all my stuff yet to actually give him credit, because I was not really expecting to do anything with this model tonight. But, you know, you get the idea. So, one day I would like someone that's better at drawing to give me an updated model, but it's going to be a long time before that happens. It's going to be a really long time. This is my shock face. This is my sad face. So sad. This is me disappearing. Apparently. Oh, there we go. This is me angry. There we go. Somehow managed to turn him off. I wonder how that happened. Yeah, rigging was very complicated. I think I ended up having to send him like 6 different versions of the PSD in order to finally get it done. When will 21 release? I don't know. I've been trying to avoid it. I haven't really been in the state where I feel like I can do it in a way that's conducive. Where is my little man? There's my little man. Yes, not. I think some of the settings may have changed. What's going on, buddy? Something going on with you? That's my connection stuff. No, this is my hotkey stuff. It'll probably be here. Yeah, the idle stuff is fine. Physics swing strength. Maybe I'll turn up the physics strength a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay. Something apparently you can do on these is watch YouTube videos. Although I'm not exactly sure what to watch. Yeah, there's a whole everything. Hold on. I'll briefly, because again, I did not want to actually do anything today. Whoop. Oh, right, I forgot. Hold on. Yeah, where's my kitty cat thing? Here we go. Okay. Here, hold on. There you go. See, here I am in all my glory. Yeah. That's all for now. Back down you go, kitty cat. I'll do an actual thing later. That's gonna be a while. Meow. So it's a little bit better than the other kitty cat that I was using. Feel free to draw lots of fan art and pornography. Drawing pornography of this one seems a little bit more fucked up. One thing that Kim said is that the one part of the rigging that wasn't working initially, where whenever you smile, the lower parts of the eyes do this. And he was saying that's very important. If like you have to absolutely make sure that that parameter is working correctly. And he was right. And that sells a lot. Yes, and my horse Isekai, yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Today I ate Quiznos. I learned the hard way the last time I ate Quiznos, which is about a year and a half ago, maybe about a year, that I cannot eat a full-length Quiznos sandwich anymore. As I get older, I can eat less and less things. Whenever I was younger, I could eat a big trough full of stuff and it didn't affect me at all. If I eat too much, I start getting kind of vomity. I don't like it at all. I have no control over it either. Yeah, I guess that's part of it. I enjoy the fact that I have this... Like, one of the reasons why I have the little kitty cat is because I want to be appealing in some way. But at the same time, I don't want to be a hot anime boy. Because I'm not a hot anime boy. Well, I take that back. I actually... in real life, I don't look that bad. I'm just you know, I don't know, just, I've always not really been keen on my physical appearance. People have always told me that I do look good, but I guess it was my weird kind of screwed up upbringing and having very low self-esteem because of, you know, the emotional and physical abuse and blah, 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 all that stuff. I've just always felt really weird about presenting myself as being someone that's really desirable. So it's always bothered me. So I don't really like the idea of showing off my hot anime body. So the idea of still being appealing, but it being because I'm a little cutie pie, yeah, that was okay. I like that. Yeah, there's not many Quiznos left. The reason why they reduced the number of them is because, if I remember correctly, there was a falling out between the deal with restaurants is that there's a core company that owns a bunch of individual places. Well, they don't own them, but they license the name. And they, like, send them the materials. And, you're allowed to use the name of the restaurant, and you use their food, and you do your business. But if you fail, then it's no skin off their back. And it's, you know, it's not a very good model for the person that actually owns the business. But basically, there was some sort of, I can't remember the actual legal stuff, but Quiznos was basically undercutting the people that they were selling their license to. So as a result, that franchise kind of pooped itself. It did a big poopy pants. Actually, one thing I could do... where's my beaver back? There it is. I should probably bring my Twitch chat over here. And put it somewhere around here. Aha, there you are. Look at that. You guys are here with me now. Look at that. Just barely, though. There you go. Now you guys can say fucked up things, too. And have it recorded for all posterity. And because there are no moderators here but me, you could say anything. Which is an invitation, of course, to allow me to ban you. So that's what I did today. I went into a hot topic today. I did not buy anything today, certainly. But I went into a hot topic just to see what was going on in there. And nothing was going on in there, in fact. It was truly awful. Yeah. Yeah. I like these cans of Coke Zero, but you have to drink them right away. Because the longer that they sit there, the more nasty they become. Now, I shall destroy you. Ugh. It's dead. Do I have adorable little claws? No. That was... I wanted to reduce the number of layers that I had to work with. Because the more layers you have, the bigger the file. And the bigger the file, the less likely it is to work at all. Choke teeth. Yeah, I feel like I walked inside of the, I walked inside a lot of these stores, and even though they had merchandise there, I couldn't quite... I don't remember any of it. There were tons of Funko Pops, though. We went into like 3 or 4 different stores, and all of them had just rows and rows of Funko Pops. I hate Funko Pops. They were everywhere. It was disgusting. I didn't tell my friend that, because he was like, ooh, I want these. I was like, oh, do you? Do you know? Don't much care for them. Yeah, I don't understand how places in the mall stay in business anymore. No, I also went into a GameStop, and that also was absolutely brimming with Funko Pops. And it's also full of games that are like 10 years old as well. Like, when there's like Battlefield, like the original Battlefield, just there for some reason. I don't know why. What are you selling in here? But I guess it's there for a reason. Like, GameStop has to do something. And certainly no one is buying anything physical anymore, and if they are, they're going to order it online. Why would you do anything differently? I'm kind of thinking about drawing something stupid and fucked up. This is not going to be a work stream, but I was considering doing something stupid. Actually, I was considering watching YouTube videos, but I'm not really sure what to watch. I might make like a channel in my Discord that is just for leaving... Nanners does this, actually, ever so often. And it'll just be like a little channel that are... where people leave stupid videos that you think that the watcher might enjoy watching. And then we just sit around and watch them. Draw a horse. There's no, this is something I might change. I'll give you a Discord link. But all of my... This will expire in 7 days. But I've... No, we're not videos of donkeys being hit by trains. Let's not do that. Donkeys are such good boys and girls. Like, donkeys are cute. They're also very protective. They take really good care of the area that they consider to be theirs, which unfortunately does result in them stomping things to death. So, donkeys famously do not like dogs, for example. The fudge video. What was the name of that? What was the name of that video? Let me move this over here. This is another thing with me. It doesn't matter if I've never seen it before. If other people have seen it, I feel like, why would anyone care? What is the name of that video? That's it. Hold on. How do I do this? Yes, it is. Hold on. Like, Nyanners recently watched this, and I feel like such a ripoff watching it after that. Because I wouldn't know it exists if she had not watched it already. And since I've already seen it, who cares? There we go. I'll have to make my little kitty smaller. Some people haven't seen stuff like this before. Okay, and you guys are still over there, right? Yeah, good. Okay. This is actually kind of especially funny if I'm leaving the background music, like the soft Zelda background music, along with the beautiful sounds of a gentle amount of rain hitting leaves. Why is my... Do it. Here. Look at my face. Stupid phone. Do it. There we go. Okay. Yeah. You guys want to be closer to me? Hold on. Want to be close to me? You can stay right here. You have to be smaller, though. You can't obscure everything. There we go. How about that? Is that better? You guys like being over here? Ow. Ow. No, come on, move. Yeah, this is something I'll have to fix whenever I actually do my thing. It's not responding as well as it should. I didn't do something correctly in regards to the rigging. It actually is supposed to look way better than this. And it was working perfectly the other day. I didn't start things up correctly. Oh wait, I bet I know what it was. I didn't start iTunes before I did all this. I wonder if I can... Hold on for a second. I'm going to close YouTube Studio. And iTunes is open, then reopen it. And we'll see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe that'll help it to actually initialize correctly. I kind of doubt it, though. Okay. No, it's still not really... Yeah, there's something about the camera. It's not behaving itself today. I don't know what it is. I think I just didn't position the camera correctly. I wonder if I can... Hey, come here. Come here, sweet boy. Come here. You can do it. Get a little bit closer. It's okay. Yeah. That's good enough for now. Okay. Let's watch our video. Our stupid video.
Hey, dude, can I have some change?
Hell no, dude. I see you on this fucking corner every fucking day. You think I'm gonna give you some fucking money?
I like that he flubs the line.
Dumpster, baby. All right, fuck you.
Fuck you. He's so hungry.
Hey, let me have a little bit of change.
Let's see. I do have something.
What is he standing outside of, anyways?
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, hell yeah, I can buy a lot of diarrhea with this. It's really necessary to go to the next day.
Hey, man.
You have the
Got
gentle
your sack
music.
of fudge there, dude. You enjoy that shit, bro. It's good shit.
It's tight. I like fudge.
I think I know that guy.
I don't know what kind of fudge this is.
I never noticed that he has like a little shitty a flavor saver down there.
That's... Damn, man, this isn't fudge.
I like the music.
Man, shit.
Guys, take part. I love the fact that it takes him a while. He can't quite put it together. Why is there a mix of homeless guy eats crap? Yeah, I need to make like an account that's specifically for watching stupid fucked up garbage.
Now, we are getting ready for the Ubisoft.
No, don't autoplay. How dare you? What is that? Welcome on YouTube Live E3. Something. Who cares? A bunch of garbage. But I should make an account that's specifically for that, and then just completely obliterate it, and so that the entire feed is just nothing but this pure swill constantly. Ooh, I finally lost frames today. Look at that. Lost a little bit of frames. Yeah, he he complains that it's shit, then he keeps eating it. He's, aw, man. Like, he recognizes the taste of shit. This is probably the more alarming part of it to me. What's some other stupid nonsense we can watch? Hold on, I'll show you my favorite video. Here we go. This is very important. The hell? Ooh, I have to sign in to confirm my age. How exciting! I can't actually do that. It's amazing. I actually will have to make an account. I have to make an account to watch the Farting Jedi. It's age restricted. Wait, the fart awakens. What's this? I bet it's just the same thing, except there's farts in it.
You know, I can take it if I want.
It's in there.
And I go get it from them.
The fact that it has the Zelda music.
I feel it.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. I It has to be more complicated than that. You can't just put fart sounds in there and have it be fine.
She's strong with the Force. Untrained but stronger than she knows.
Amazing. Yeah, okay, I get it.
What an incredible smell you discovered.
Like, sometimes I think about... I have an idea for a video that's sort of like this.
I'm impressed.
But there's more to it than that. Yeah, I still enjoy lowbrow humor, especially when it's not funny, and that somehow makes it funny. Like, I had this idea of showing, like, a flat JPEG of the Demon Souls level, Latria, or whatever it's called. Oh, Latria? Can't remember. And use the voice lines from Lord Rydell, where he's like, and then like put in fart sounds, and maybe add some additional dialogue, like do some voice acting to try the impersonating, where he's complaining about his inability to stop farting, and it's and it's not funny whatsoever. And then maybe, like, you hear a honking noise, and then a PNG of, like, a Ford Focus pulls up. So, please help me. And you hear a door slam, and someone go, hey, buddy, what's going on? I can't stop farting. It's like, oh, dude, no, I can't. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm not trained for this. I'm an RN, but, dude, maybe you should, like, talk to a professional. And he gets in the car, I don't know, and drives away, and it's not funny. There's nothing funny about it. And I just want there to be like one video like that on my channel where it's just a colossal shit post, and people just wonder, why did you make this? That's what I want. You know what I actually like? I like watching shit like this, versus going over dumb Star Wars lore that no one cares about. Yeah, I'm not very good at finding random YouTube videos. I kind of envy people that are good at that stuff. All my stuff is like very basic. It's very shameful. Very shameful. Wasn't that the Final Fantasy video I made? I made a Final Fantasy video? Make myself big. Big kitty. You go down though. Go down here again. Okay. That's the theme for today. And then chat can be big again over here. There we go. Okay. Now we're all set again. Yeah. I don't remember making a Final Fantasy video. Ooh, this big text. Yeah, I want to make sure I got the mouth right, too. There's a lot of layers. I was watching, who was it? I think it was Artgun. But on Twitter, Artgun was, going over the things that... Like, one of the big pushes for better VTuber models has been to just add more and more and more layers. To the point where you can actually almost completely... Like, it's not doing it. I don't know why. Like, it's not really rotating me the way that I want it to. Yeah, it loses me so easily. I don't know what's going on. It wasn't doing this the other day. But anyways, like, fully rotating your head to the side, for example. And, but in order to actually do that seamlessly, because this is just like a flat picture, right? And all it's doing is, like, moving layers around. And you can't change what the layer... Well, I guess you could. Yeah, you could fade layers in and out, I suppose. But the more stuff that you do like that, the more of a mess it becomes. A short face. And I think it was Artgun was showing off like a... It's like something like 15 different layers used on the mouth that are just for the teeth and the gums to try to give it the illusion of moving everything, so that it actually looks like a 3D model, and it's just a nightmare. Like, it's crazy, the amount of stuff that you have to go through in order to accomplish that. So, I could very easily make an even more impressive model by a long stretch, but it it would take a very, very long time. And that's one of the reasons why I much prefer someone that knows more what they're doing to actually... Like, I can learn it, but I would prefer someone else to do it. Plus, although my kitty cat is okay, like this kitty cat's okay. There you go. I would like someone that draws cuter than I can draw to actually handle it. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that the tracking is being so weird today. I'm not sure why it is. Where's iTunes? Oh, never installed anything. Okay. Install iClouds. No, shut up, Apple. Gosh. Hey, iTunes is always doing something stupid. I can tell that's downloading some massive update in the background, too. Yeah, because my OBS is completely falling apart. How big is this update? iTunes, you know what? I'm gonna close you, because you're actually fucking things up right now. Unless, did it stop? No, it didn't. Items are being downloaded. Yeah, okay. What are the items you're downloading? What are you doing? It doesn't even have a... iTunes is so awful. You actually have to have this open, though, or else it kind of falls apart. There's not even a little tab that shows you what the... There it is, okay. Oh, what? 6.3 gigs? Are you insane? Yes, pause it. It's fucking iTunes. How is iTunes 6 gigs big? It doesn't do shit. No one even uses iTunes anymore. Yeah, the reason why the frame started getting eaten is because iTunes started downloading 6 gigs of information. I was letting it I was humoring it for a bit, but oh my god. Yeah, isn't that nuts? Like, if anything at all touches my connection for any reason, my frames lose their mind. Oh, man. I promise you, there's no music on my iTunes. The only reason why it's even installed is, because supposedly VTube Studio doesn't really want to work otherwise. Fucking Apple. I'll be glad whenever some other company overtakes them in that way. Maybe it's because I'm not high enough. Yeah, it's losing me so easily. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Oh well. Why am I half a face? Because I wasn't actually wanting to show off the whole thing today, even though I briefly showed off the whole thing. I was actually going to use my... Hold on. I was going to use my old model, but it's even more janky with this setup. Here's Kitty Cat. Whoop. I forgot. Didn't have the thing moved up. Hold on. Yeah. Go up here. Kitty Cat. There's the whole Kitty Cat. Right? Whole Kitty Cat. Okay. But if I switch to old Kitty Cat, then my eyes are like crazy. And I kind of have to like almost close my eyes in order to get it to not do that. So I was like, I'm not gonna change all my settings just for not crazy Kitty Cat. So as a result, I decided I'll just use my new model. And I'll just lower it so that my visage is a secret. My secret visage. There we go. So that's why I'm half a face. The end. Yeah. I do like some VTubers that are like, make porn of my model. Do it. Because I sort of had that interaction with Silver Veil more than once. Where I'll draw something that, for me, is like, this is probably towing the line. I should ask her if this is okay. Because it's something you have to worry about whenever you're... Because this is an actual person, you know. They could consider that the model to be them. Or they could consider it to be, no, this is just a character that I play, so they don't care. Like Silver, she does not give a shit at all. And Snuffy's another one where she's like, yeah, porn. I fucking love it. Give me more. And I actually can't really think of any VTuber that is very adamantly against it. Or at least, like HoloLive, for example, they're not going to say anything about it either way. Like, it's just something they're not going to even acknowledge exists in the first place. Unless it's very subversive. So for the most part, I guess it's not really that much of a problem. But you still have to be very careful. So if you're just like some porn artist and you just draw it and you don't care, and you're not going to, like, you're not a VTuber, you're not doing streams or anything where you're talking, if you just make a pornographic picture and then throw it up on the internet and leave, you know, what are they going to do? Complain about it? They're just going to see it and be like, ugh. This is against my religion. And then that's it. You get away with it. Whereas if you are someone like me, and you're an artist that does things, then you can get a lot of trouble with a lot of people very quickly. Go down. There you go. Yours are getting cut off. You can very easily get in a lot of trouble. Does the model have a back? This is not a model. This is actually just a 2D picture. That's all it is. It's just that the layers are moved in such a way that it creates the illusion of depth. Ooh, Stone Temple. So yeah, anyways, in this example, I have had to a couple of times message Silver and ask if it would be okay to post something. Because I never want to draw something and have them be like, oh, this is creepy. Yeah. With her specifically, she almost seems more compelled to be like, yes, go further and further beyond this. She's very nice. With personalities online, you never quite know if they're going to respond or not. That's one of the problems of that's one of the problems with content creator interaction. Is even though you're a known entity, the person that you're talking to may not even know that you exist and just does not care. Like, no, I'm not going to give any examples. That would be bad. Yeah, there's some examples where I have done things for people and since they have no idea who I am and don't care, then there's no follow-up, or they'll just ignore me, which is fine. You know, this is part of the industry. But it happens, point being. So it's nice whenever you run across someone, they have no idea who you are, but they're still polite enough to actually respond. That's very nice of them. And I'm sure they get inundated with tons of messages. And my frivolous message of, is it okay to draw me holding... draw the viewer, the point of view viewer, holding hands with you, while you are also probably not wearing clothing. And them going, yeah, okay. Pretty cool. No, I haven't really had any negative interactions so far. I have gotten in trouble with other content creators in a sense before, but it was not related to that, necessarily. Yeah. Aha! Always have to be careful. Always a chance that you could overstep your bounds and say something stupid. Yeah, I want to get back to doing animations, but I'm kind of afraid of doing like a gigantic one again. Yeah, I got the Red Letter Media stuff. I actually started that before the COVID thing happened. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Because I went through the trouble of hiring voice actors, and like one guy had to pay like $500. It was crazy. It was a write-off, so it's not that big a deal, but... And I got the audio assembled, and I did all the primary stuff for it. And I couldn't do it, just because it was just too much for one person. It was 15 minutes long, and COVID was happening, and a lot of shit was going down. And I was losing people because I hadn't done an animation in a while. It was just destroying the channel, and people were losing faith in me, so I kind of just had to stop. It's still there, though. So that's what I'm most afraid of, is... Like, the more that I do this stuff... Like, anytime that you, anytime that you... How to put this? Anytime that you develop some sort of talent or some sort of... just a thing that you do. Just some weird thing that you do. You will probably start out and it's stupid. Whatever you're doing is just really, really stupid. And the more success that you have, the more you're like, let me try more. Let me make it better. And then it becomes a little bit better. And then from that point, like, take my early animations, for example. Like, I was doing Two Best Friends play stuff, right? And those things were awful. Or, like, take my Cormier video, for example. In that one, I'm, like, drawing one picture and then just, like, twirling it around the screen using the tween tool. And it looks like shit. It looks like poop. Poop from a horseman's butt. And if people are just showing, they have no idea what I'm referencing. And you eventually want to stop doing that, so I eventually went to making extremely elaborate tween animations. And I thought that I was saving time, but then I started doing frame-to-frame animations. Welcome, Mizamar. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. And after I went to frame-to-frame animations, then I realized, that's what it is! Artgun said this. The tracking software had an update. That's what it is. That's what happened. It had a software update, so it made things less sensitive. So it fucked with my settings. That's why things look so weird. I'm gonna have to go back and change everything. Of course. That's what happened. I forgot. Okay, anyways. So I went to frame-to-frame animation, and I started doing everything by hand. And then I realized, wow, this is actually way faster than what I was doing before. And I thought I was saving time before that. And after going to frame-to-frame, everything became frame-to-frame. And because everything went to frame-to-frame, everything slows down. But I still have... Like, this is the problem. All my ideas for stuff are really, really long. Like, they're all things that are, like, often minimum 5 minutes length. And the more that I try to make things, like, better, the more that I try to improve, the more complicated the work becomes. And that's kind of true of most things. So it's one of the things you always have to be wary of. Whereas, probably if I just made, like, old shitty animations like I was making back in the, like, 2008 or whatever it was. Was I making animations back then? Can't remember. But if I did something like that, then people probably wouldn't really care too much, to be quite honest. Yeah, that's the problem. I keep trying to think of animations that are funny and engaging, but they're very, very short, and it's kind of hard to pull off. Maybe I'll take my Quotes of Wisdom text file, and I'll do one or two of those in the form of stupid short little animations. Although, without the context, those definitely will not be funny. Yeah, even normal work is like that. Yeah, a lot of people do show up just to hear me talk about things. But I feel like it's a subset of people, of the general YouTube viewing audience. Like, as long as I'm able to engage with people and help improve people's lives, and in some weird, minor way, and keep myself financed enough where I don't have to worry about life in general, then I'm more or less okay. So even if I'm streaming for like 100 people, I don't really care, so long as I'm making money in some way. And that's the reason why I want better internet, so I don't have to worry so much about it. Because then it will at least be more reliable, so if I work more, then I can make up for that lost time. And as a result, Twitch will be a little bit more forgiving. Yeah, I've thought about doing animatics before. I actually thought about taking the 15-minute long Red Letter Media thing. I call it the Red Letter Media. It's a Star Wars cartoon that just so happens to have at the very, very end Mike in there. I thought about doing animatics before, like with that. But then I thought, well, everyone went through so much trouble to record all that stuff. It needs to actually look good. So I got frustrated by that. So it's just one of those things where I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with it. I was actually talking to someone. I guess I won't mention who it was. It's another VTuber. I was talking to someone the other day about it, and I said, I could probably get it done if I had a studio. Or not even like a studio, just a group of other animators that are working with me. If I had that, then it would not be as much of a concern. Because then, you know, it would be something that's just getting done, right? But, But in order to do that, I would need money. And I don't have that much money. It's something that I could probably easily get done, but there would be no real reason. It's not going to bring back as much money as it would take to actually spend to be able to pay people to do it. So, yeah, I actually did like the Dead by Daylight animation a lot as far as the quality and everything goes, but it's just Dead by Daylight, so a lot of people didn't get it and no one cared. So, I don't even think it has 100,000 views. A lot of people are like, you don't animate anymore. It's like, I just did one. Did I see Totally Not Mark's take on Naruto? Yes. Totally Mark is a really great YouTuber. If you don't know who he is, he does sort of positive, upbeat reviews about animes that he's experiencing. And he started out with just Dragon Ball, you know, Dragon Ball Super specifically. And then he's moved on to One Piece and Naruto, and I think he did a little bit of Hunter x Hunter, or he's going to? I can't quite remember. But he's a very good content creator. JoJo, that's what it was, yeah, thank you. So if you want to check him out, I would really encourage you to. But as far as what I thought about his take on Naruto, I don't actually... You may not even know this, but I actually hate that Naruto video. Even though it's so famous now. Even whenever I was writing it, I was like, I don't believe what I'm saying here, but this is funnier than actually giving... There's another problem with writing stuff. You often have to take things out of context for the sake of comedy. And that Naruto video does that a lot. Like, even my whole argument of... The theme of Naruto is hard work or whatever. It sort of was for like the first little bit. It really isn't, because it goes all over the place narratively. And that was never the point of the story. Naruto has its flaws, so that's not actually one of them. But it's the building blocks for the comedy of that video, so it's something I had to do. So a lot of people still don't get that. They watch it. And even though I open up with saying I don't know anything about Naruto, even though I go through the whole video detailing every single element throughout the entire thing, how could I not know anything about Naruto? That's the joke. That's the whole joke. Is that clearly I would have to know something about it in order to make the video. But some people are just, they're so stubborn about it that it just doesn't register, I guess. So my hope was that people would understand, oh, it's a stupid video on purpose, but, you know, it is what it is. That's the reason why whenever I did do a Final Fantasy video. Yeah, I did. It's one of my favorite videos. The one that's Titus is the son of Blitzball God and you aren't, I think is the name of it. In that one, the writing of it is like, this is going to be like the Naruto video, but it's going to be so stupid. It's going to be so goddamn stupid that there's no way people would ever be able to mistake that this is a joke. So I cranked that up to 11. Should we just watch that video? Get myself DMCA'd against myself? That'd be funny. I'm not gonna do that, though. I love that video because, like, for the first part of it, like, I shouldn't be dropping names or something. But Yanners, another VTuber I mentioned her before, she's probably my favorite VTuber. I really like her. But I really like listening to her laugh. Like, it's very positive and upbeat. If you think this is a comfy stream, it's kind of fun watching her lose her mind whenever she watches stupid videos. Anyways, this is my plug for her for the day. But she really, really likes Final Fantasy X. And I made that video, and she has at least watched one video I know of mine. And that was because I made a video of drawing her character, the character of Yanners. And she said, oh, I'll watch this when I think she was like fishing in Final Fantasy 14 or something. And I told her, please don't. Please, God, don't do that. So I don't know if she saw that video or not. She claims to religiously look for any Final Fantasy X related content online. But the first part of that video is like that, where there's lots of actual minor factual errors. Whenever I'm talking about things that happened or how things align. And the point of it is that it's supposed to be dumb and, silly. But I do, make errors. And every time that I see that video, the first part of it, I'm like, oh my god, this is wrong. This is technically right, but for the wrong reasons. So I'm like, oh my god, I hope she didn't see that. I really hope she did not watch that. The part of that video that everyone likes is the Luca Goa part. Where the first part of it is just me pretending that it's a real video. And it being kind of weird and completely unapproachable and esoteric. To the point of being confusing, like you're in a fever dream. And then whenever you hit the second part of it, it's just me rambling about how stupid the Luca Goas are for, the next... It's longer than the first part. It's, 30 minutes long of me just trashing the Luca Goas. I love making stuff like that. Where it's just complete nonsense. Anyways, yeah. I hope people enjoy that one. I always get a kick out of seeing comments on that one. Because I think one of them is this is peak Plague content. Where it's about something, and it's really detailed, but it means nothing. And it's about nothing. Oh, this is a good song. I always like Wind Waker music. I hope that this entire VOD doesn't get muted. I decided to play this in the background because video game music is okay. And I didn't want to have to think about it too much. I think that was one of my jokes. What exactly is a goer? I really like 10, though. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make that video. Because I actually really like Final Fantasy X. It's probably my favorite of the Final Fantasies, to be honest. Overall. That's sort of controversial in a way. I don't know how to put it. Because I grew up with, 6 and 7. And 8 is 8. I know some people like it. I made a video about 8 too. 9 is 9. What do they call Freya? Sex rat. Sex rat. 9 is the game that has sex rat in it. Yeah. I'm gonna move OBS back over. There we go. Let's move this too. 9 is the one with 6 rat, right? And it's cute. 9 is very cute. It's not quite for me though. It's still a good game though. I appreciate it. 10, like the thing that I always say about 10 is that it's the Final Fantasy that accomplishes what it set out to do the best. Like 10 is itself. It is embracing what it chose to be. Like you can think about it in terms of a person. Like a person is someone that is, like me, for example, I have the idea of what I want to be inside of my head, and I'm trying to be that every day. And I don't really accomplish that every day. And sometimes I end up being a person that day that I didn't want to be. And this is part of being a person. And that's part of your existence as well. 10 is fully realizing what 10 thinks 10 is and is trying to be every time that you play it. Like it's a solid amount of quality, and it does everything that it needs to do in order to be itself. It is very linear. That's the only thing that I really kind of have criticisms about it. I really wish that you could play it a bit out of sequence. But even though it is linear, and I think it was the first, for the most part. Like, 10 was the first game that was like hyper-linear. So it's kind of the beginning of the end in that way. Because the Final Fantasy games kind of became poopy butthole after that. But, yeah, it lended itself. Like, it was actually in service to the plot. Thanks, Farfetch. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Thanks for the 5. I do appreciate that. But the fact that it was so linear allowed itself to tell a coherent story in a very controlled way. So it did service in that way. And plus, even though it is very linear, you can backtrack. Like, you can, like, backtrack, especially whenever you get past Blitzball. After you get past Blitzball, because you have to be able to go back and play it, then they allow you to actually backtrack through all the areas to be able to reach that area before you even get the airship. It's sort of like Fort Condor in Final Fantasy VII. In Final Fantasy VII, it sort of works the same way. At the very beginning of the game, whenever you get out of Midgar, you're expected to go through... what's the name of the place? Calm. You're supposed to go through Calm and go through the Calm flashback. And then go through the caves, go over to Junon, past Fort Condor, go over the ocean, and so forth and so on. All that stuff. So it's very, very, very linear. But you can still, for whatever reason, backtrack and go back because you have to do Fort Condor content. Which is very strange because there's actually a lot of things that you can miss as far as optional items go. And one of them is Yuffie's Super Ball. Like, all the characters have joke weapons, right? Like, Cid's is a mop, Aeris's is a umbrella, Cloud's is a nail bat. It's just a bat with a bunch of nails in it. That sort of stuff. Yuffie's is a Super Ball. It's just a ball. It's just a gigantic rubber ball. And you get that by doing a bunch of Fort Condor missions. And some of those you can't actually access unless you do things like go to Junon, trigger the cutscene where you are introduced to Priscilla, and then turn around and immediately leave before even the next sequence of events happens. It is very, very specific. I don't know why they did it the way that they did, but you can do that. So everything's set up for that purpose. Pretty neat. Yeah, whenever I first started playing, everyone has the experience. Whenever you first start playing Blitzball, it's just a nightmare, because nothing makes any sense. But eventually you learn the secret of, oh, you can just swim to the corners, and they follow you over there. And once you do that, then you're just like, okay, follow me over here, pass it to someone else, before you actually technically reach me, and now they're wide open. And that's the one way that you play Blitzball. Yeah, I played 12. Of course I did. Had Fran in it. Why wouldn't I, right? 12 was okay. I don't remember anything about the plot. It's one of my criticisms of it. I don't really remember anything from 12. I kind of remember the way that it looked. And I remember that summons were absolute garbage. I kept thinking that I was doing something wrong in that game, because the summons just never hit hard. And then it turned out years later, everyone else told me, no, they're just bad. they don't work. Yeah, I do like the setting of 7. It's pretty interesting. At least the general ideas behind it. It's kind of been ruined with the compilation era, but you know. Yeah, the judges do have cool looking outfits. I'll give them that. The ideas that they were going for in 12 were okay, they just weren't fully realized at the time. And of course I briefly played 13. I very, very, very briefly played 13. And, I did not have a good experience with that. It was at someone's house. He was playing 13. And he said he couldn't get past a certain boss. So I picked it up and I was like, okay, I'll try to get you past it. And he's like, have you ever played this game? And I said, no, I know nothing about this at all. But I have played all the other Final Fantasies, so maybe it'll come to me. And he's like, yeah, sure, go for it. So I learned the system, which didn't take long because 13 is 13. I don't remember anything about it, but I do remember that it's very simple. And I leveled him up a couple times by doing random mobs, and then after that I was able to beat the boss of that area that he was having trouble getting to. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember that after that happened, after you beat the boss, you go down a little bitty road, and then you get a cutscene of them going... It's a very cringy cutscene of them going into some giant city. And I don't remember why it's cringy, just that it was. And it's very embarrassing, because one of his friends came over, and this was whenever I was leaving for the night. And we all stood around and watched this anime cutscene, and we're all very embarrassed by what happened. And that's what I remember from it. You gonna go watch the movie? Okay, bye-bye. You don't have to stick around on my account. Oh, that is pretty early? Well, I think there were multiple characters at that point. I thought there was some big war or something going on. I can't remember. But I did play 14. I played all the way to the end of Shadowbringers. And I did that on stream. Whether those VODs still exist, I don't know on here. But all the stuff that I've ever done on Twitch is actually in an unlisted playlist that is on YouTube. So you can go there and look for all my Twitch VODs. And that's where you shall find them. And that was back whenever I was using the webcam. And I was not in a healthy state at the end of that. Because my subscription was running out and I didn't want to renew it. So I was rushing on the very last day that I would have had it. And I actually almost passed out. It was not a great experience. Sometimes I think about the Fable games. I can't decide if the Fable games were good or bad. No, I never played Endwalker. I decided not to go back to 14 until they added in Feeble Hrothgar. Because that's what Daddy wants. That's what Daddy likes. Daddy wants Feeble Hrothgar. And the second that you add those, Daddy comes back in. Yeah, I had a weird relationship with the Fable games. I did play them a lot, but even whenever I was playing them, I thought, wow, I kind of hate this. Because they are very janky games in a weird way. There was also another game that was like that. You know what games actually remind me the most of Fable without being Fable? The Overlord games. The little things where you control little minions, like different colored minions, and you send them out and they do things, and you don't actually fight yourself. Well, you swing your sword, but you don't really fight otherwise. Those were awful games too. But you can play them for like one day before you get tired of them. But they look... Those games really look a lot like Fable. They feel the same way too. Maybe they run on the same engine, I have no idea. Yeah, Vagrant Story is a really great game. It can be kind of incomprehensible, though. Like, especially whenever you're starting out, it has all the, like, smithing stuff, and there's the combat system, and also the fact that weapons gain affinity based on what you're hitting. It can be very, very confusing. So I would never blame anyone for finding it to be completely unapproachable, but it is a very good game. I really wish it would get a remake. Yeah, I played Dragon's Dogma. In fact, I think Paige and Pat loaded up their Dragon's Dogma thing and looked at my, what are they called? The little helper guys that you have? I can't remember what they're called. But I did have one that was named Amoya, and she was like a big brown warrior lady that was based on my Saiyan character. And Pawns, yeah. And I had forgotten that I got rid of her because I was nearing the end of my time with Dragon's Dogma, so I was like, I'm gonna try to create another pawn. So I created the other Saiyan girl named Shire. And I was trying to replicate the outfit. If you have ever seen my drawings of the girls, they wear something that is like a Saiyan outfit, like the armor. And she wore sort of like Nappa's outfit, where it just has the boxer briefs. So I was trying to replicate that using what I could, but the result ended up looking very porny, like very creepy. So they loaded up that pawn and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like, Eli, what did you do? Like, I can tell what you were up to. And Chet would not believe me that Chet would not believe the story that I just told you. Like, oh, he was masturbating. And I was, but it wasn't for the reasons that you thought. The end. I wasn't actually masturbating. That's my story. Oh, if you Google Saiyan girl, that's cute. That's nice. I appreciate that. Where's my... There it is. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Move you over here. Yep, nothing's stopping you from doing both. I look forward to Dragon's Dogma 2. Have they ever announced that? I think they have, haven't they? That they're working on it? Yeah, I need another drink. And phone, you need to actually keep track of where I am. Yeah, I kind of both fear and really am anticipating Dragon's Dogma 2. I fear it because Dragon's Dogma was a mess of a game. Like, it was just all over the place. And you could... your true beloved could be a random merchant that you interacted with a little bit too much. That was kind of funny. But people talk a lot about Dragon's Dogma, but they don't really remember how much of a mess it actually was. It had a lot of problems. It was trying to do too many things at the same time. That was the issue with it. But the fact that it was a mess was also kind of the nice part. The thing that people remember really fondly are the spells. Because anytime that I talk about spells in like FromSoft games, that's one of the things I always want to mention, is that they have a lot to learn from Dragon's Dogma. Because when you did a spell in Dragon's Dogma, it was a spell. You were like actually changing the planet around you. Making giant tornadoes or gigantic ice shards that change the environment so things can't get past them and all this other stuff. It's crazy. But at the same time, a lot of them are basically just .mov files. Where they're big for the sake of being big. Like, they're very bombastic, but they don't do a particularly amazing job of being spells in the sense that they do utility. A lot of the spells are also pretty bad. Not everything was made equal. So, yeah, it could be better. Could be worse. Dragon Age. Forget about Dragon Age. Man, my experience with Dragon Age was I played Dragon Age Origins all the way through, and I was like, that was pretty good. And then, I was like, I would like to experience more of Dragon Age. And And then I thought, I wonder if there's a Dragon Age 2, because I didn't know. I didn't actually know. And I looked it up, and Dragon Age 2 had come out that day. Like, the day that I actually Googled looking for Dragon Age 2, it appeared. It just manifested itself in the world. So without thinking, I went out and bought it, and then I played it. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I played it on release day without knowing anything about it. It is the worst video game experience I have ever had in my life. That game is absolute dog shit. Not even like the good kind of dog shit, like, wow, what an experience. I'm so glad I had this experience with this terrible game. No, it's just, it was very bad. It was very, very bad. Yeah, whenever I saw enemies T-posing in the sky and being just piled on top of me as I was moving forward down a untextured road, I knew things were, things had some way to go. Yeah, I was very disappointed. I was very upset because it was a full-price game and they did not deserve the money. Fun little fact, on their official forums, which I think their official forums are down now, but they had like moderators and developers like arguing and screaming and banning people that were not even like bitching at them, like people that were just saying like honest criticisms. They were trying to silence it like so aggressively that they were actively like getting into screaming matches. The developers, like the actual developers, with people on the forums. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. It was an absolute shit show. And, of course, Inquisition, I think, is the game that they said, that BioWare said, destroy the company. Because it was too successful. Like, they went into crunch with the whole BioWare magic thing. And it somehow managed to succeed. So as a result, that's the thing that encouraged their upper heads to just ruin the company from the inside out. What a mess. Video games, right? Truly amazing. I did play... No, I never played Inquisition. I actually started thinking about what Inquisition was like, and then remembered, no wait, that is Dragon Age 2. Just as Dragon Age 2 was incomprehensible. Yeah, I really don't know much about Inquisition. Yeah, I think that BioWare still is technically around, but only technically. There are a few games that I have thought about playing on, you know, like, Plague Tale is an example of this, where I know it's a good game, I would like to play it on stream, but I've just never gotten around to it, and it's something I bought years ago, and, I don't know if I'll ever actually get around to playing it. I've never experienced it as a result. And I have a bunch of stuff on my library that's like that, and a lot of it comes down to my internet getting throttled all the time. So whenever I finally actually do get stable internet, maybe I'll have a big series of video games for like, I never played this from 10 years ago, I never played this from 7 years ago. And it'll just be one game after the other, me experiencing for the first time. I did like Mass Effect for the most part. I never played Andromeda. I don't like any of the Mass Effect games as, like, perfect games. Mass Effect 1 is just too much of a mess. It's very, very messy. Mass Effect 2 is... Mass Effect 2 is the yassified version of Mass Effect 1. Where it became very streamlined and approachable, but it almost... it underwent bimbofication. Like it transformed into a tan, thoughtless, brained wonder. But 2 is probably still the best of the bunch, and 3, of course, is 3. Very flawed series. It's a series that could have been way, way better if it had just not had interference. So we'll never know. It's one of those things. There's another alternate universe out there where Mass Effect just improved upon itself without having much interference, and it became like one of the greatest franchises of all time or something. Yeah. Just like there's another universe where the Final Fantasy VII remake was actually a remake. And was just a solid, good game, and everyone was like, yeah, I'm glad that you didn't do any stupid fiction. And then the creator's like, yeah, that would have been crazy. Who would do that, right? It's out there somewhere. But since it exists now, we will never get it. Like, since 7 Remake exists in its current form and is continuing, there will never, ever, ever be an actual remake. That's the thing that pains me. I would rather... No. Like, remake is still fine in many respects. I don't wish that it didn't exist. I just wish they had made better decisions. Very unfortunate. Yes, the remake is very pretentious. Like sniffing its own farts. No, like, remake was good. It's just... Like, I try to be more even about that. I don't like saying that things are just straight up and down garbage unless they are garbage. Remake is a good game, it's just a bad experience. Even if you're someone that doesn't care about the original at all, it's, like, really incomprehensible as a result. Like, it's almost impossible to understand. But, like, the combat system and stuff like that is absolutely fine. Like, as just a video game, it's, you know, fine. And there's lots of things that are in the game, as far as, like, cutscenes and go, that if you pinpoint them and be like, this one, this one, this one, then those things are fine. It's just, as a whole, it's bad. Yeah. Congratulations on Tifa to relocating to Italy. And re-identifying. Immigrating. That's the one benefit of existing, yes. Loads and loads of model rips. And Remake Barrett, of course, as I mentioned before, is yeah, a much better version of the character. He did get improved over the original. I have been considering lately the idea of, instead of trying to do frame-to-frame animation, just using models. Like, trying to animate it like that. Which, from what I gather, do not use SFM. Because that apparently is an absolute nightmare. And everyone was telling me, if you're going to do that, use Blender. Although that's such a completely different skill set than what I have already, then it's probably not something I'll ever actually do. Could it be modded into an actual remake? No. Because a lot of it is cutscenes. I wonder what the next Nier game is going to be. They're working on a new Nier, aren't they? I thought I heard that. I hear news about games and then the week that it stops being news and I completely forget that I ever heard it. Phone game? Ugh. Yeah, could be worse, I guess. Oop, yeah, if I double tap that, it goes away. So strange. Oh, he's gone forever. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. I'm invisible now. Ooh. Oh, that's strange. Oh, I see what's happening. There we go. Okay, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, okay. Oh, he is just gone. That's funny. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. OBS uses the exact same key presses. So whenever I hit Control Up Down, it's taking my character and moving me below the video layer, which is making it impossible to see what I'm doing. That's what it was. Has it been going? It's been going okay. I've recovered since my breakdown. Not fully. I still wake up depressed. And I think that's just physiological. Because it goes away over the day. Like there's some sort of chemical in my brain that's doing something that it shouldn't be doing. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to stream today. Because I was like, people shouldn't have to feel this way. If I can give people something to just concentrate on as a distraction, then I'm at least putting a little bit more love into the world. Yeah. I remember playing Automata and having to use the Steam function where you change the control scheme. Because there's something about you have to like mash a button to be able to fire the little bitty bullets or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was really getting on my nerves, so I changed that. I don't remember what it was. He's working on 2 games. He thinks that they're too weird. Alright, this sounds like my kind of game, then. It's possible that, because I haven't been eating much, I've lost about 5 or something pounds over the past week. Because I just have not been eating, and the few times that I did eat, I would just throw it right back up. Like my body just could not keep anything down. I don't know what it was. I do look much better now, though. I look fine at 170, but now I'm at the point where I actually sort of almost look like I'm in high school again. I want to build more muscle mass, though. I have always like tried to lift weights a little bit in order to try to, because that's the best way of like trimming a stomach fat if you're a guy. Like even doing it a little bit gets rid of a lot. But yeah, I would like to get much bigger, if possible. Because sitting in a chair for long periods of time is not good for you. It doesn't put on a good body. Sometimes I think about like taking a picture of myself and putting it on Twitter and like, hey girls. Not like that, no. But I'm at the same time I'm still 39 years old, unfortunately. So it's not like I'm gonna be getting loads of compliments in that sense. But I look okay for my age. I was doing crunches last night. I was trying to do weighted crunches. And I couldn't quite figure it out. Because you're supposed to do it with a single flat bell from dumbbell, sorry. A single flat weight. Like probably like a 50-pounder or something starting out. But I don't have one to... Well, I do have one lying around, but they're very slick. They're hard to have a handle on. So I've just been using 2 twin dumbbells. And I kept trying to do weighted crunches like that, and I couldn't quite figure it out. It just felt like I was doing nothing at all. So I ended up just throwing them to the ground and just going back and doing regular crunches. I'm gonna get strong, little kitty place. Gonna get perfect abs, I guess. Probably not. Actually, in order to get like really nice looking abs, the trick is not really to work out your... You do have to work out your abs to some degree. But most of it is because you're actually dehydrated. Like whenever you see people posting their amazing six-pack, it's usually because they're actually in pretty bad physical condition. Or not bad physical condition, but they're like... It's sort of like weightlifters, you know, whenever they're showcasing their build. They actually have to thin their skin by just not drinking water for a long time. So whenever you see them do that, they're actually like in really bad health, and by the time that they're done, you can actually see them like go backstage and just like collapse because they're in such dire straits physically. It's really awful. So trying to achieve six-packs also is like usually, not always, a pretty bad idea. Yeah. Got the same age. Every so often I run into people that are actually older than me online. It's kind of rare. A lot of VTubers will not reveal their age, too, though. Like, a good rule of thumb, especially with female VTubers, because a lot of their whole thing revolves around, like, trying to be desirable. Like, the whole simping subculture thing, which almost has become a joke on its own, where people are like, yeah, I'm simping, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, I'm simping. But, you know, just the illusion that it is a character that maybe you could date them or something. You know, something silly like that. But a lot of, you just have to make the assumption that all of them are, like, 40-year-old married women that have, like, a couple of kids that are like, I'm gonna do this as a fun pastime. Because that's probably true. It's probably true. Ever so often there is one there's like, oh no, it's just some, like, young 20-year-old girl or something. She's definitely dating someone, so no chance for you, random internet goer. But that's more, point being, that's more of a thing for women. Whereas with guys, usually the guys don't care for the most part. But it doesn't really come up much either, because who cares? Like, it's a guy VTuber. Like, the whole appeal of a guy VTuber usually is that they're doing something stupid, being silly. Not so much that you want to date them, but you could. I tried to do a sly little head turn. Come on, do it. Tracker, please. Oh, come on. But you could. It almost worked. Yeah, I need to fix the my parameters in VTube Studio, since they apparently screwed up the tracking. Yeah, you can fuck the 2D drawing if you print it out. You just have to roll up the paper. Print out that picture of your favorite VTuber and roll it into a paper tube that you can look through. Just be careful of the edges. And thank you very much, Mr. Riker Skies. Thank you very much. Yeah. 7 months, goodness. Yeah, I think actually, that's the thing I shouldn't mention. That's kind of rude. But yeah, I think the HoloLive thing has, there's been like controversies involving that as well, that are absolutely none of my business. That's one of the weird things about doing content creation is if you have to keep your personal life very hidden, which I don't do a good job of doing. Excuse me. I don't do a very good job of doing that because I don't have much of a personal life to hide in the first place. Yeah, I didn't want to be another mincing anime fuckboy with beautiful kissable lips. The funny thing is, I'll say it this way. The funny thing is, Coco did go back to streaming. I don't know that much about it. I think she went back to streaming. She's just a completely different character from that now. So the point was to evade the harassment that she was getting, from what I gather. Which again is absolutely none of my business, and that could be completely false. That is really none of my business. Point being, the reason why I bring that up more is just that that should not have happened to her. And it was very rude and inappropriate for it to happen to her. So I'm glad if she did get back into the business, then good for her. I haven't kept track of it, though. And thank you very much, Sleepy Coffee, for that 10. Goodness gracious. I think I found someone that wants to fuck me. Right? That's going in the wisdom folder. Another thing that I was wanting to do is a plushie company actually contacted me last year wanting to know if I wanted to make plushes. And I told them, I am currently making a much cuter version of myself. Please wait. Because the last thing people want is to have a plushie made of my cartoonishly looking... Like, my YouTube avatar is sort of designed to look like me in a way. Like, it very, very, very vaguely looks like me. but it is cranked up to 11 as far as trying to look like a creepy, sinister farmer. Because that was the joke. Because that's how I felt at the time. I felt like I was a creepy, sinister farmer. So I don't actually look like that, which has been detrimental to me. Because a lot of people see my icon and like, ew, is that what he is? Like, I don't want to talk to that. That's actually happened a few times, unfortunately. So sometimes I think about changing that icon. But yeah, I didn't think anyone would want to have a plushie of that horrible, horrible man. Having the kitty cat is much more endearing. If only I could get my rigging to work correctly. Yeah. Man, it seems like it's getting worse, too. Man, what is going on with it? Oh well. Fluxumia, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, I need to get another drink. Give me like a split second. Dun, dun. I'm still here. I'm still here. Just need to get some. Oh.
You know what you guys need?
You know what I've got as a snack? A snack just for me. Just for me. I have as a snack. Yeah. I have as a snack some gas station banana chips. They're horrible. I thought I might like them because we have a dehydrator. Or I have a dehydrator now. And I was like, well, I like those. And I've never had these. So I got them, and they're like really dirt cheap anyways. And then I had like one, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing. They're like rocks. I hear that? Like, oh my god, how can they be that hard? I thought maybe if I just like let them sit in my mouth a while, they'll like turn into something that resembles food. They don't. It just stays that way. Gravity pump well water? Yeah, there's still well water here. Yeah. Yeah, city utilities do not reach this area. Yeah, there are probably tons of sugar too. Did you guys like that sound? It's pretty good, right? Camera, can you please cooperate? Just focus on me. There you go. You can tell this is Breath of the Wild. Ugh. Enough of these. I only put one of these banana chips in my mouth. And that's way too many. I'm probably just gonna throw the rest of these out, unfortunately. Yeah, not really worth having. What camera did I use for the old the old kitty cat? I used my webcam. I forget what model it was. It's okay. It's an okay webcam. Yeah. Okay, no more banana chips. Enough of that. No. No more. No more. Ugh. Yeah, phone, please cooperate with me. Okay. Maybe if I move closer. Yeah. Please, phone tracking actually register that my kitty exists. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, this is a Fresca. I'm drinking a canned Fresca. Which I like entirely too much. But it's still, it still can't get rid of it. It's like infecting me. It's taking control of my body. Yeah. Thank you, Sleepy. Man, a gas station giveth and taketh away. It does not give. That gas station does not give. There's no give. Like, they're not even dehydrated exactly. They may not even be bananas. I'm not quite sure. Welcome, Silver Road. Appreciate it, buddy. Nah. Yeah, gosh. It went from like eating a banana, like, oh, banana. It's like I ate a bunch of hair that had been coalesced into a single chip. Ugh. I should get rid of them now, honestly. It's like just having them in my presence is making me feel ill. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Keeps getting worse somehow. Oh. Okay. Ugh. Gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Where's it coming from? Yeah, it's like I inhaled drywall. Like, it's actually like I just ate drywall. Okay, anyways. Let's go back to talking about my anime involving horses. Actually, if you guys actually had to write a story, what would you guys write? I often talk about the things that I would do. What would you guys do? Have you guys ever had any thoughts about stories that you would like to have? You guys tell me, you guys give me your pitch on your approach to the kind of content that you want to make. I wonder what their label is. Valued Naturals. Banana chips. Calorie facts. Serving size about half a cup. Calories 200. I think part of the problem is that it's really dark in here. Hold on a second. Yeah. Kitty cat, you freeze in place, please. Yeah, maybe that'll improve things. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I think part of the problem is that it's nighttime, whereas before I've been doing testing, it was daytime. Yeah, I think that helped a lot, because I think the camera just couldn't actually see me. I need to get a ring light, even though I'm actually doing a webcam stuff. Yeah, that did help a lot, I think. Yeah, it did help a lot. That's what it was. It just couldn't see me. There we go. Yeah, a lot of people do incorporate their ideas for stories into campaigns when they're doing tabletop. Although the problem there is that you might never actually end up telling it, because the session will last one session, or half a session, and then that's it. Writing things that are scary in a horror story is pretty difficult. Especially in writing. If you're doing something, if you're presenting something visual, like a movie, then you can craft that experience pretty easily. But with reading, you're really having to rely on the person doing it themselves. The reader actually has to be willing to craft that experience on their own. Nah, From Software never made an Aztec thing. Yeah, don't let social anxiety ruin your life for you, if you can help it. I know it's not as easy. Just stop doing it, champ. You'll do it. But social anxiety, that's something people really don't need these days, because it's already really, really hard for people to stay in contact. That's one additional thing that you definitely don't need. Yeah. Even with things that you're not doing that are tabletop related, being able to have agency in the world is important. Like, for example, I've talked about this before, but one of the things about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and so forth and so on, is that the worlds themselves are fully realized, so that if people want to make fan fiction of it, then they definitely can. And since the world itself feels like it's something that you could immerse yourself in, then it's that much easier to project yourself into it. I'm pretty sure American Horse Girls Visit Japan that teach about dressage. I am almost positive that anime actually exists. I've never heard of Ralph Bakshi? Never heard of him before. Then again, it's been a long time since I kept up with authors. I used to read all the time whenever I was a kid. The funny thing is, I used to read all the time, and then whenever I started writing, I stopped reading because I ran out of the time to actually do it. I found that people tend to write about whatever is good. This is going to be a greater, encompassing thought. People tend to write about things that are going on with them, or their personal experiences or so on, right? People write about that stuff. I've said before that if you aren't learning whenever you're writing, then you aren't writing correctly, and I always have stood by that. Like, it's easy to have the mentality that a writer is always, like, lecturing you, like, trying to teach you something. Like, the writer knows best, he's trying to teach you. But many of the times, it's more that the reason why you write in the first place is because you're confused about something. Or you think that you know something and you're trying to go over why you are right, or you've seen a sentiment before and you're trying to disprove it, and, you know. It's more that... It's like what I do. Like, I go on these long, rambling tangents, and that's exactly how I think whenever I write. I will come up with an idea, and then I will have like a loose understanding of what I want to do with it and what it means. And I will keep trying to elaborate on it over and over and over again until I get to the point where I'm like, yes, that's it. That's exactly what I believe. Or I reach a conclusion in which I feel like, okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm more informed about it because I've kind of discovered the path to my own internal logic, right? And whatever people write, they do the same thing. Except they do it in the form of, like, characters that are exploring those ideas. So you can have characters that represent different ideologies, but they're still dealing with the same general concepts. And whenever they reach the end of whatever their arc is, then you're basically finalizing what that idea was. So when you're like, oh, that writer's so smart. No, it's not that he was so smart, it's that he actually learned that himself in the process of writing it, and you just so happen to watch that along the way. And because of that reason, you're able to... You had the same experience. You basically wrote along with him, in a sense. Which I always appreciate about writing. That's the magical thing about it. Yeah, kind of the problem that... I was thinking about writing a video about the nature of isolation and wearing masks and things of that nature. Just something that's more... There's something that's, like, about what I've been going through the past 10 years or so. That's something that focuses on trying to be uplifting, and trying to translate it into something that's very positive is the part that's the most difficult. Because you don't want it to be, like very sobby, sad nonsense. Where, like, oh, my life's so bad, blah, blah, blah. Because there's people whose lives are way worse than mine. Like, we're seeing that right now in the world today. But I still would like to be able to help people translate. But I'm not, like, a therapist or anything. And I don't want to be. But I think general... Ooh, did it start over? Did it actually loop? Holy shit, it looped. How long is this? Oh, it's only an hour. It's looped several times and I never noticed. Cool. Wow, I'm bad at paying attention to that. But yeah, that's something I've always had that opinion. I've always wanted to help people with my content, which is why like the Pokemon animation, for example, is a good example of this. Most of it is weird, creepy bullshit, but it still has sort of a tinge of it, like being wholesome, which I'm a big fan of. Trying to make things seem more wholesome is important to me. And the sequel that I have written for it is even more of that. Because being able to entertain people with a distraction is one thing. I've always thought about more, not what I'm going to leave behind, but it's really important to me to be able to influence people positively. And that's the reason why I like talking about things like writing or improving yourself, or even like game design, ways that game design can be improved. Even though I am technically always complaining, it's through the sentiment of trying to make things better. So when it comes to, like, the older and older I get, the more like, okay, I can put the hilarious backdrop of my bullshit to one side. But I really want to make sure that people engage with this in a way that's not just wholesome, but actually is helping them in some way. Yeah, even with my weird perverted drawings, one of the reasons why I like drawing hand-holding is not just because it's kind of funny, but because I enjoy the intimacy of it. I like showing some level of romance to a drawing, even though it's perverse. Because usually a romantic image is just romantic. It's like people holding each other very gently, or, you know, just... There's a lot of atmospheric lighting and stuff. But being able to combine those two things is interesting to me. I really like having something that is approachable and stupid and very surface level, but then you look at it a little bit and you're like, oh, there's actually a little bit more to it. Like, I like pictures that tell stories, and I like stories that tell messages. Oh, 3 hours. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't want to do too much today anyways. Nice. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I've actually thought about writing like a little short story for the YouTube channel, but I'm not sure what it would actually be about. One of the problems of doing what I'm doing now is that you do get kind of trapped into this loop of like you're just trying to get things out the door so fast that you kind of lose a lot of the undercurrent of your writing. Yeah, the way that people process their own negative emotions has always been kind of interesting to me. You have to have control of them, though. Because if you are... Again, that's what I was talking about earlier on. A lot of depression just stems from the fact that you don't feel like you're in control of anything anymore, that there's no chance for you. You can be depressed, but as long as you're able to compartmentalize it in some way in which you feel like you can access it and look at it externally, then you can be fine. And you can do that with almost anything. Like being able to, if you have a feeling that keeps appearing inside of your mind, and it bothers you constantly, and you don't know what to do with it, then even something as simple as giving it a name Not like Bill. You can name it Bill or something if you want. But just being able to look at it and identify it and say, this is this thing. You can have it, acknowledge that it exists. Like, you don't want to ignore it. Like, ignoring it and pushing it down doesn't accomplish anything. But you can just have it there. Say, you're there. Like, I understand why you're there. But I'm not going to engage with you. Because if you engage with it, then... Like, for example, one of the things that I was going through whenever I was having my depressive episode last week was, since I was depressed, I didn't want to do anything. Like, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to play games, I didn't want to watch videos. Nothing was entertaining, nothing was distracting, nothing brought pleasure of any kind. Like, everything was bad all the time. And I just couldn't get away from it. Like, every experience when I was conscious was just negative, and which is very unusual for me, actually. I'm actually fairly positive as a person most of the time. But whenever you can't find distractions and you can't find a way to sort of disengage from it, there's nothing left to do but just to sit there and think. And because you're just sitting there thinking, there's nothing to think about except for the thing that's bothering you, which causes it to spiral out of control. So being able to externalize it in some way is extremely helpful in that way. That was the joke, yeah. The reason why I chose the name Plague of Gripes is because I knew that people would listen to me seemingly complaining about things, and I was like, well, I'll get a hold of the game, just call myself something involving complaining. Because I actually did used to be way more negative. These days, I feel like I'm actually pretty positive in most of my stuff. Yeah, I had something that was extremely bad, whatever it was. It was, like, easily the worst depression that I've ever had. Like, I was in an extremely, extremely bad, dangerous state. Which is very unusual for me. But the fact that I have more control over my life, I feel like I have more control now, which is helping a lot. Of course, now that I can stream, I can actually stream right now, for example, is actually helping a lot too. Because before, part of it also was that I couldn't do anything, except for just make Elden Ring videos, which was driving me absolutely insane. For me, a lot of it is just the fact that like, I'm getting older, I'm losing my looks in my face, and like, the thing, I was asking my friend this tonight, it's like, what are your goals? What are the things that you actually want out of life? And for me, it's, like, the most bare-bone things is, I want a new home, I want to get married, I want to have, like, maybe a kid. Maybe. It depends. But at the same time, I don't feel like I can marry someone that already has kids because I have no experience with it, and I have never really had enough love and happiness in my life given to me that I feel like I would be able to handle it. Because that comes with a lot of responsibility to those other people that would be in your life, which limits the pool of people significantly. Because so many women that are on the market in their 30s are going to be, you know, divorcees or people that have undergone some sort of tragedy and so forth and so on. So, house, mate, maybe, you know, greater scheme of a family, but also just the greater extent of my work. Like, I want to make sure that I touch people in a very positive way, and I keep growing in that regard. And growing my Twitch here is part of that. Yeah, I've always looked fairly young for my age. I still look like I'm... It depends on how the light strikes me. I don't really look like I'm in my 40s, certainly, because I'm not. I'm still 39. But there are some days where I wake up and I feel like I look like I'm in my late 20s. I definitely do not need a 20-year-old bimbo. The kind of girl that I'm actually looking for, or woman, however you want to put it. Maybe I'm sharing too much information with you. But I've always been, because I've never got it in the waking world, whenever I was raised, quote unquote, by my parents, I was, you know, abused in various ways. I was telling my friend tonight that the last thing that my father ever said to me is the nicest thing I had ever heard him say, you know, before he died. And he just said, thank you. And that was it. And that's the only time in his entire life I had ever heard him thank me, or say anything really nice at all. And that was just because he, I guess, knew that he was going. And I say that only for the context of I'm very, very weak to women that are nice. Like, just that are compassionate and loving. It's just something I've never had, so it's really, it just it devastates me whenever I actually meet someone like that, which is kind of dangerous. Because you don't want to fall into the trap of just meeting someone that just does something like that, and then that's all you're looking for, right? But that, plus, like, intelligence is very important to me. Someone that's dumb as a rock probably just... I really don't think less of people that have simple lives or anything like that, but, you know, I would like someone that I can have conversations with. I've never really cared too much about physical appearance, in a way. All the women I've ever been attracted to have been physically attractive, but I've never been like, oh, it's got to be blonde, it's got to be someone short, it's got to be someone tall. I don't really care about stuff like that. But maybe one day. I'll go out and try to introduce myself to the world and find somebody. It's gonna be hard, though. But I can't find anyone just sitting around. That's one of the things I mainly wanted to talk about in the video, is the idea that you can't fix things unless you actually fix them. Like, if you have something that's wrong in your life, you have to change it. Like, people sit around fantasizing about, you know, starting a YouTube channel, for example. You have to do it. And people always have the mentality of, well, I'll eventually get to it. I'll do something like that. I'll prepare it one day. I'll open this tab and I'll kind of look at it briefly, and then I'll read it like next week. I've got stuff to do. No, just do it then. Like, you have to do it. You have to follow through with your own agency. The things that happen in the world happen because people make them happen. And the same thing goes for, like, meeting someone, or buying a house, or getting a new job. You just have to make the conscious decision to do those things, and to do them now, in some capacity. Sometimes you have to wait, but, you know, you have to do them. Yeah, I understand people not wanting kids. I kind of don't, in a way. But I also... I don't know, maybe it's narcissistic in a way, but I would kind of like to see what kind of person I would bring up, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I want to have dreams about my dad. I have almost nothing but negative memories about him, unfortunately. I really envy people that have very positive memories of their parents. That's something that you really... It's nice to have in a mate whenever they have very positive experiences with their own family members, because that gives them a framework for how they should approach everyone that they meet. So whenever you have someone that had nothing but negative experiences growing up, it's really difficult to get out of. And I speak from experience in that regard, because part of the reason why I do seem negative is because for like the first 30 years of my life, I was extremely negative all the time, just because so much of my life was just miserable. And I spent most of my YouTube career crawling out of that hole, and just trying to repair myself to get to the point where I am now, at this lofty mountaintop that I'm sitting upon. Yeah, being idle is not good for you. Thankfully, I've actually apparently got pretty good genes, as far as I've got pretty good alpha male genes. No, I've I don't really have much of a medical... Like, even 23andMe, it was like, yeah, we can't really find anything. Like, you sort of have... Your family looks like it might be prone to diabetes, maybe? But probably not. And that was kind of all that it said. So I don't really have anything that's too dire, as far as that goes. Maybe diverticulitis, maybe. Although that was something my dad had. Yeah, people that... This kind of the thing, people that do go through lots of hardships and have very traumatic things happen to them do have more of a framework for... Like, one of the reasons why I care so much about trying to make other people feel comfortable and to make them feel happy and to make other people laugh is just because so much of my life was not that at all. So I just really want to make sure that people have a good time. And I feel like that's important for everyone. Like, all of you that are listening to me, if you can in some minor way, even if it's someone that you don't know, actually help to make someone's life a little bit better, even through small actions, then you should. Like, even telling someone that they look nice today, like they have a nice shirt, or they have a nice haircut or something. Like, even something like that can go a long way. Let's try to touch people's lives in very small ways.
Know what you guys need?
Oh, I was about to raid you, Camellia. This is Millie. She is also a VTuber, and she was just streaming. I was going to raid you. I was going to stop and actually go over there to help you out. Oh well. I guess you'll just have to enjoy my company here. We were discussing life troubles. I'm drinking Fresca. What are you guys up to over there? What were you playing? Phasmophobia. You were playing Phasmophobia still. I wish I'd... This is one of those games that really helps to have someone that plays with you. When you're playing on your own, you really have to know what you're doing, and I have no idea what I'm doing in Phasmophobia. I wish I did. It's always really interesting to watch other people do it. Watching me do it, I would just stumble around with my dick in my hand, not knowing what the hell's going on. But you should definitely... Does my little shout-out thing work? No, not question mark. Come on, old man hands. Does this shout-out thing work? I can't remember if I set it up correctly or not. Yay, it does! Look at that. I did something right. It's been a long time since I tried to use that. Yeah, we're just talking here. I decided I encountered a lot of people tonight that were, like, clinically depressed, and everyone was... Because I went and watched a movie with a friend, and the entire night he was... I might play Phasmophobia with you, maybe. I will give it some consideration with all the other stuff that's going on. But I went to see a movie with my friend, and of course he's like me, around the same age range, and you know, he's divorced, and I think he's getting married pretty soon too. So they're going to have like 4 kids running around the house, which is going to be... It's going to be a thing. And he was just communicating about all his depressive episodes and all the hardships that he's going through and all this stuff. And I went up to the city to watch a movie, and the whole city felt like it was empty, and it was just very dire, and it was just very wet, and no one was doing anything. All the people that we ran into looked like they were depressed, and we went back home and ran into his dad, and he was like, oh yeah, I've been suffering anxiety lately because I am so isolated. It's like, oh my god. Everyone's going through so many things. This is awful. So whenever I got home, I was like, I'm not putting up with this shit. Like, if people are actually having a bad time, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that they're having a good time. So I decided to do something that I've never done, and that was to just start up a stream in which I'm just doing this just chatting thing. So if in some matter way that I can actually help people to enjoy themselves tonight, I decided that I would. So that's what we've been doing tonight. And I briefly read some words of wisdom that I wrote when I was 28. That's all that's been going on. Hope you guys enjoyed Phasmophobia, though. If in any way you can, in your daily life, impact the lives, even if they're strangers, even if they're an asshole. Like, even if you run into some horrid asshole. If you can impact their life in a positive way, then that does go a long way. Actually, one of the things that we were discussing, that my friend and I were discussing tonight, was we have another friend from high school who is like a history buff. He's a very logical person. And he was saying how much of a problem that this friend was having getting into online debates. And I was like, well, that's your first problem. We're all old people. We're old people. We're very, very old. So they do things like get into internet debates on Facebook. I was listening to him. I told him that something was... I told him that he sounded like he was on copium, and he had no idea what he didn't know what I was talking about. At that moment, I was like, oh no, oh my god, I'm there already. He was getting it. He gets into online debates, and it's like he tries to use facts and logic, doesn't he? And he's like, yes, he does. Yeah, boomers. And I said, that's your problem. This is one of the things, if you don't know this about people, is if you're trying to not win a debate, if you're trying to reach someone, I'll put it that way. The key to reaching people, if they're like politically opposed to you or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The means of doing that is to use empathy. Is to try to approach things from their perspective, which can be very difficult if they are insane, which they often are, like my family is. But if you can actually approach things from the way that they perceive the world, that's how you actually connect with them in a way that will get them to change their opinion. And that's the only way to do it. Trying to do it by actually using actual evidence and science is not going to work whatsoever. It doesn't work. Believe me, I have many decades of living with and around people that are like this. It does not work. This is actually my new kitty model. My old one is the farmer hat kitty. But where is kitty cat? Right here. Where's kitty kitty? There's kitty kitty. Here's kitty kitty. But my the tracking on it is I have not set it up for my new little iPhone system that I have. So he wasn't quite there yet. So I decided not to bother. I used my new one. Which I keep saying that I'm not going to show off the full thing, but I keep doing it anyways. So yeah, here he is. Here, hold on. Yeah, this is his entire little body. I don't think I can really... Oh, I can sort of sway my arms a little bit. Yeah. I'm a bird. You get the idea, though. Yeah. Kitty kitty. Go down there, baby kitty. Yeah, old kitty cat was okay. This one, of course, is... I drew this one as well. It took a while. iPhone tracking works better when you have the lights on, though. I learned that the hard way. No problem, Sinful. I'm sorry to hear that you're at a very low point in your life. But as long as you find some way of gaining control, then things will get better. Even if it doesn't feel that way for a while. Part of it also is that if you have been depressed, some of that is completely physiological. It's not mental. Like, it's not something that is extrinsic to you. So sometimes it's just something that lingers inside of your brain as an actual chemical. I don't know what the actual... I don't know what the actual chemical name is, but... it's something that can just sit there, and you have no way of getting rid of it. It just takes time to work out of your system. So it's not you as the important part. It's something to remember. Oh yeah, this kitty model is designed after Lynx, yeah. I like squinting my eyes. Also, I can change my expressions. And be angry, sort of. Mildly upset. But not too much. Welcome, Fast and Curious. Welcome, Fast and Curious. I really like that name. We were talking about video games earlier, because that's what we do around these parts. Tell us more about the VTuber rig? There's really not... It's... I drew it. Rotus Lotus is the one that actually rigged it. So Kim, if you are aware of him. You can check him out on Twitter. I don't have his stuff in the description or anything, because I didn't really expect to use my rig tonight. I haven't actually gone through a debut, and I didn't expect anyone to show up, so... This is kind of a surprise to me as well. Going to bed? That's okay. You don't have to stick around. I appreciate everyone that showed up. Thank you, Fleetmaster Eddie, very much. Yeah. Yes, we also discussed my idea for an anime involving a horse that is isekai'd into a fantasy realm where he has to impregnate 40 princesses. And some of them are human, but some of them are horses, even though no one seems to acknowledge it. And also there are some people that are born that have human brains, but everyone treats them as though they are horses, because they see them as horses. This is very important, that part. Now see, we already have Centaur World for that. People are already horny for centaurs, if you've seen Centaur World. Kind of a cute little show. It had 2 seasons. I have no idea how that show got greenlit. Like, I really don't understand it. It's a good show, but it's just so weird. And yes, some of, like, at least one of the centaurs, even though they are not meant to be hot, is, like, weirdly hot in a very strange way. Which one is it? Where's my Chrome? I'm gonna look up picture. Which one is it? Centaur World. Where's my OBS? OBS, get over here. I'm gonna find the hot one. There it is. Okay, hold on. Did I? Oh, because it hasn't been linked. That's what it is. See? That one. This is the hot one. I know it's not hot. None of them are hot. Like, this one's supposed to be hot. He's not hot. This one, for some reason, is like weirdly hot. A lot of people want to fuck this one. I don't know what's going on. I take that back. I know exactly what's going on. But this is the one that everyone wants to fuck. It's an okay show. What if I type in the hot one? Will it bring up? No, it won't bring up. Hold on. What if it's in quotes? OBS, you calm down over there. I see you dropping frames. What are you doing? Maybe Steam is downloading something. No? Nothing's going on. I don't know why OBS is flipping out. Oh well. No, that's not the hot one. I wanted it to bring up I wanted it to hilariously... Well, okay, she is hot. Yeah, that's true. It is right about that. There is like one human character in that show. And she is a little cutie pie. She is very adorable. She has the same VA as the main horse character. The first time I saw her, it actually reminded me of Korra. They don't really look exactly alike, but you understand my sentiment. It's a good show. Yeah, sorry about the internet. That's just my internet. This one, I don't much care for him. Because this happens. He's very rude. He's a rude boy. He, like, yassifies himself. It's crazy. Right, younger Casca. I love Casca characters. They're so hot. They also have character, I guess, but that's secondary to the fact that they're outrageously hot. There's something about, like, a buff girl that is, like, brown, and not to be racist, but it's hot. It is! Like, really, I don't know, there's something about the definition that having that neutral skin tone brings that helps define muscles and, like, bring out the real tone. That's what it is. It's hot. It's hot stuff. You know what I'm saying. You're here for a good reason. Okay. You're here for the hot brown women, and you're here for... This sounds so bad. And you're here for the weird furries. That's what it is. Oh, I completely forgot. I switched out all my art stuff because I was going to do a drawing for you guys. How do I do this? It's been a while. Art? Ooh, gosh. No, that's the wrong one anyways. Why is it looking at the wrong screen? Hold on, let me... Yeah. Oh yeah, I was on Yanner's Discord. Forgot about that. You go over here. Go over here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's on Game Stream. That's strange. Do that. You guys can look at my single recycle bin for some reason. Yeah, it's selecting the wrong monitor. That's weird. There we go. That's what I wanted. Studio. Boop. There we go. Where's my tablet? Bring forth the tablet. There it is. Something else that I've been meaning to do is I was playing around with the voice alteration program. I haven't really messed too much with it yet, though. Something I want to eventually do. Oops, wrong color. I'm not going to draw anything serious today. This will take like a few seconds. Let's draw... hold on. What should it be? Something I've been doing a lot lately. I've been drawing hand turkeys. Let's draw a hand turkey. Let's draw a hot hand turkey. I don't recognize this track. This must have been from Skyward Sword. With abs? Yeah, okay, we'll draw abs. Oh, my drawing of Nanner's prom dress? Yeah. That story really bothered me. Nanner's told the story on stream about how when she was... I don't know if I should be rigged. Anytime I recount anything like this, it kind of makes me feel like I'm being invasive or something. But she was recounting this story about how in the amazing year 2010 or whenever she was... whenever she was a high schooler or something, a boy asked her out to a prom, and she got excited. Her mom helped her to go shop for a dress, and she went there, and then the guy never talked to her the whole night. And she talked about how she, like, left in tears and, like, cried the whole night. It really bothered me. Not just because, you know, I like Nanners, I like her, but also because no one should have to deal with that. Like, there's no reason for that. Like, everyone should find reasons and good... Everyone should have sources of happiness in their life, and... Of course, I didn't have a happy childhood. Whenever other people tell me stories, or I hear stories about how their childhood also was fucked up in some way, I don't know, maybe it's like because I'm male, it kind of pisses me off. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't just get... It doesn't make me sad. I, like, get angry on their behalf. It's very strange. Anyways, yes, this is a hand turkey. That's the reason why I drew that picture. Because, like, fuck it. Make sure that she gets what she should have gotten in the first place. Alright, there's her abs. Also, this will be the horse that gets isekai'd into the world where it impregnates all the princesses. These are horse ears. This is his little horsey eye. Actually, horses have, like, weird, fucked up eyes. So it's like this. Yeah, it's like that. There's a little bit of glistening nature to it. This will be its horrid little snout. Horses are kind of fucked up. You gonna go to bed? Alright. Thanks, Millie. I appreciate you coming out. I'm sorry that I didn't get to raid you before you raided me. But have a good rest of the night. So I hope that you enjoy yourself and you have a nice meal. There we go. Actually, this looks too cute. It needs to be more fucked up looking. I kind of have forgotten what horses look like, too. Let's give it a nasty snarl. I'm gonna knock up so many princesses. There we go. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna give it some action lines. There we go. This is its tail. Back here. This is the tail. It's got a nice flowing tail, though. Very beautiful mane. Like, very elegant and flowing. What a beautiful creature. Make sure it curls at the end. There you go, a little bit of a swish. There you go. And also, here's its butt. Here's some horse apples. Let's face it, horses always be shitting, right? You've seen horses. They'll just be walking around, being so elegant. Cloppity cloppity clop. And then just... It's just an avalanche of dump. I've been around. You know. I don't have to tell you. You're an expert in this, too. Also, its hooves are up here for some reason. These are hooves. These are not, in fact, 4 tiny crowns. Ran out of legs. Oh, its butt can also be a hoof. How about that? There we go. What's my experience like in VR? I can never really get it to work very well. And I don't really have anyone to do it with, so it's never really come up. There we go. Also, let's add some little knobs. That's how you know it's a horse leg, because it's kind of fucked up. There we go. And because he's been isekai'd, he has to have anime hair. He's got to be a hot anime boy. It's very important. There we go. Of course, he's got to have an outfit. These are his abs, of course. So he's got like probably a sweet ass necklace. He's got a sweet ass seashell necklace from from circa 1998 that he picked up at the mall. Fucking sweet. Showed it off to his high school friends. Some of the girls were like, "Damn, you look good." You know it, baby. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, got that done. I do kind of like VR, but I just have an Oculus, and Facebook has ruined every element of that for me, unfortunately. There we go. What else should he have? He's got to have like one pauldron. What? Where is his? I can't make sense out of what his shoulder would be. I guess it's like up here somewhere. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Now he's a warrior. He's got to come down. Right around here. There we go. Leather belt. He's cool now. It's very cool. Whenever he impregnates his first princess, she's going to be really excited. She is definitely into it. Magic rings? Yeah, I think you're right. And for some reason the magic ring will be greatly oversized. Yeah, bigger than that. Actually, way bigger than that. Hold on. There we go. Magic. It's very magic. The bigger something is, the more magic it has. Everyone knows that. It's huge. Oh, I love this track. sparkling and shit. You kidding me? Think this horse is not getting laid tonight? Also, very important. There we go. He's definitely getting pussy tonight. Make that more clear. There we go. Make sure everyone knows. Fantastic. But only this hoof specifically. Because that's his greeting hoof that he clops on the ground. Yeah. Also, he's got to have a big sword, of course. Which will have to be, like, hung... Yeah, he's classy. He's classy, so it hangs at his hip. God, I love this song. So relaxing. Some people say it's somber. I've heard people say that they hate this song because it's depressing, which I don't really get. Now we're talking. Oh, don't end. Oh well. Of course, it's got to be wicked sick, so it's going to be a katana. But it's a short katana because I ran out of canvas space. But it's still katana all the same. There we go. I'm not quite sure what's down here. Like, I never know what to do with the wrist. So maybe it'll be like a series of smaller, like, centipede legs. Because, let's face it, he's got a lot of princesses that he needs to impregnate. And he's got to get there fast. Because horses have a lot of semen. And they've got to deposit it as quickly as they possibly can. More legs, need more legs. There we go. That way competing males can't rake it out with their giant honking Omega blasters. They're scurrying. He's going really fast. These are speed lines. He's galloping. He's very regal in that way. Also... also, there's this. This is important. This is also important. Didn't seal it. There we go. Wait, I think I misspelled censored. I did. Maybe I should leave it like that. No, okay, I'll change it. It's too stupid. Makes no sense. I'm just being stupid for the sake of being stupid. There we go. It has to be pointing forward so that he can joust his way to victory. There we go. Alright, is there anything else I'm forgetting? I feel like there's something, but what is it? I do need to make sure that it's clear that his muscles are extremely toned. There we go. That's better. Oh, of course, I know what it was. It was a single harlot who, like, in the midst of her throes of passion, accidentally got entangled. and now she's just stuck on his body for the rest of the time. There we go. She's very beautiful. Her tits are nice. There we go. Gotta give her a bikini though. It's gotta be safe for work. Running out of space. Ooh. The song. There we go. That's too big though. She's way too big. So we'll make her very small. There we go. Now we're talking. Because let's make it, he's a big horse. He's the alpha male. You gotta be big. I mean, you kidding me with this? You don't care about... we haven't actually named him. You don't care about... Now, wasn't his name Sebastian? No, I'm sorry. Sebastian was the name of one of his children that he had that looked like a person and thought like a person, but people treated like a slave because they see him as a horse. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I'm not getting my lore straight. Throbulon. Maybe not that one. That's too silly, Throbulon. His name's Throbo. There we go. Alright, there we go. Looks nice. Can't forget the belly button. It would be really bad if, like, some huge streamer, for some reason, like someone that has, like, 10,000 people, just so happened to raid me at this very moment. Which will not, thankfully, that will never actually happen. But it would be very inappropriate. Because then I would have a lot of explaining to do. Let's give him a couple little... There we go. I wonder if this will get me, like, banned off Twitter. Maybe I should delete it now. I'll save it. I'll save it all the same. Whoops. Whoa, what are you doing there, buddy? Calm down. Yeah, I'll save it. I'll definitely save it. Whoops, that's the wrong one. This is how I used to draw all the time, by the way. If you've ever wondered how you get into drawing, like, oh, I tried drawing, but I suck. Yeah, of course you do. Everyone sucks whenever they start out. Throbo.png. There we go. Now we're talking. Everyone stinks whenever they start drawing. But, like, talents don't develop unless you enjoy doing them. So if you buy yourself a piano or something, you're like, I'm gonna learn the piano, and then you do it for like a little bit, and then you fall off of it, because you didn't enjoy doing it. The only thing that's going to develop into a talent is going to be something that, even whenever you are absolutely god-awful at it, you're still like, I fucking love doing this, it's so much fun. And it just develops over time. It's like how I got slowly better at animation. Not that I ever really enjoyed animation that much, but it was just because I started out doing something that was intentionally shitty and just awful, and I just kept doing that over and over again until I worked up to the point where I was just doing frame to frame. It just took time. So whenever you're doing drawings, how I got into drawing, I just did stupid shit like this all the time. And that was good enough. And eventually I just got to the point where I could draw other things. That's something I've done lately. Yeah, my Lumi picture. Like, I went from doing this shit to doing this. This Lumi. I wish Lumi was doing something right now. That'd be fun to raid. Or doing my Rouge picture or something. Yeah, something like that. Like, looking at this, then tabbing back over to Throbo. Okay, anyways. Hope you enjoyed my drawing for the evening. That's what I was gonna do. Alright, did you guys have fun today?
No. I hated the stream. I thought I was going to be entertained. But it was miserable. Fuck you.
Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is there is practically no one doing anything right now. So maybe we will go raid Uni. Yeah, I love Lumi. Although Lumi's very wholesome, so I don't think that Thrabo would exactly be... She's very wholesome, but she also can be surprisingly lewd whenever she feels like she can get away with it. It's very... She has a thing going on. Yeah, I really like Lumi. She's really fun. She's very nice, too. Okay, but anyways. Let's go raid Uni. We'll do that. And I will try to... I've got to do the new Elden Ring part coming up, so this is probably the next thing that I'll do. But I do want to get back to streaming more. So don't be too surprised if I do another streamy-doo sometime soon. Again, thank you for anyone that is somehow still here from that raid. Somehow. I don't know why you would be. But thank you all the same. So we'll head over there and say hello. You don't have to do anything special. You can just say hi. Maybe spam a few of my emotes if you want to. All the same, this is your favorite little kitty signing off. I'm gonna take a little bit of a rest and just watch some videos for a while. That'll be the rest of my night. Be sure to spread a little bit of love to anyone that you run into, and to each other. Just have a good rest of the night, everyone. Bye-bye. And I will post Thrabo to Twitter. In fact, I'll do that right now. I wonder if this is gonna get flagged. Bye-bye.